Cool.
Why?
Now to find out what crap you named the stream this time.
I named
'Cause
it.
that's my biggest surprise.
Yep. My lighting
Don't
rig
don't tell me. I
is
want to find out for myself. I've got to go
okay.
and open my dashboard anyway. So
My lighting rig is not. It's not good.
what? Frick.
What?
We be doing
We'll be
fine.
doing fine. Oh my gosh! Look at this. I
Look at what?
my lights are failing. I might as well just turn them off.
You are failing. Classic.
Put me in the dark.
I perpetually live in the dark.
I'm a ghost. Look. Woo.
I'm pretty sure you're a human, but I'll let you off this time.
Hey, ghosts were human once.
Only just.
I am only human, or am I dancing?
So the killers.
Yes.
I was thinking that. I was like, geez, I recognise
Yes.
that. I was like, yeah, it shows how little I care about the
I
killers.
love
I think
them.
these. I'm not a fan at all, but I know there's going to be at least one Killers song on the wedding playlist, and it's always the same one that everyone else chooses, which is Mr. Brightside.
Oh, I love Mr. Brightside. I did not
The
know.
only one I do kind of like.
Well, I
It's
didn't know
enough
how.
for me to go, ooh, yeah, cool.
I didn't know how popular it was over here because,
Yeah,
like,
massive. The Killers are massive.
I
Like,
know it
well,
was
kind of were.
shocking. Yeah, they kind of were. I loved them back in the U.S., but they weren't as massive as they were here. And
No.
then, yeah, like everybody knows Mr. Brightside, and I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's very, very hard to sort of breach the gulf that is, being
Yeah.
a British artist going to the going overseas, but it's easier for an American artist to go
Right.
over here
Exactly.
because Britain nowadays is America 2.0, let's
Yeah.
say.
It's
'Cause,
just scary, but
just
I love.
ignore that comment.
Uh huh.
I don't want anyone noticing that. But yes, you're right, Nana.
Uh huh. It's like it's
Hello.
kind of obvious.
Oh, damn, really? Damn. Shoot. Shucks. There I was.
uh
Thought my sneak level was 100, but
huh.
clearly it's at 25.
Clang, clang,
Maybe even
clang in
less.
heavy armor. But
Well, yeah, it's kind of a bit difficult to sneak around when you've been carrying heavy machinery.
yes, exactly. Oh my goodness.
I'm saying nothing else.
I'm not literally not touching that. I am actually thinking of Brendan Flowers right now. It's the lead singer of the Killers. For those who don't know, he is
Oh, okay, yeah,
the
I knew that, and I
perfect.
don't know what.
He was the
Oh, that's kind of cool.
ideal man back then.
Hang on, I'm just checking the stream just to make
He's
sure that sound is
older
coming
now.
through okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't really have anything to add. I probably should
Well,
talk.
I'm glad you said something at
I was
least.
gonna say I
At least
probably should be
clear.
talking if you're checking sound.
Yeah, we're good. It sounds
Okay.
okay-ish. Cool.
Okay.
And also, I'm logged in on my phone to the normal Twitch because it's the only way I can actually communicate with Mags's community.
Oh yes. Oh good. So you got in. Okay.
I did, yeah, but I had to use the Rapid Reviews account, which is why
Oh,
when you
that's
were on that show, I was using that.
right.
I did stop by very briefly for his MK1 stream, but I was out on
Yeah,
a
I was.
walk. It was quite difficult to watch that.
Oh yeah, I was there for a
Uh,
bit. Um.
yeah, I've been hearing some very awkward things about MK1,
Um.
such as the player one glitch.
There. Well, it's for me. It's hard to know what is the main game glitch versus the Switch glitch.
No, so
I get
that's
them
I
all mixed
think
up.
apparently is across all versions of the game that player one has an additional damage boost even in multiplayer, which is
Ooh.
kind of stupid.
Right.
Because Sencho sent it to me over Discord a couple of days ago, and my response to it literally was just NRS don't know how to balance a game.
Well, you're not wrong, and I love
No,
NetherRealms.
I know that because they're main characters. So usually the main character of the story at the
Uh huh.
time is usually one of the more overpowered in the game.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense actually.
It does, but from a multiplayer perspective, and if you want to go for, the big numbers in terms of like Evo and you know esports and stuff like that, you can't have stuff like that even be a thing. You need to try and make it as balanced as possible, or make everyone ridiculously overpowered that way. Oh, what
Right.
is it this time?
My camera's
Focus.
the worst. Why? Why will it not focus? Anyway, it's gonna say, "Oh, looky there,
Oh, bugger off. Bugger. Look. I'm already. It's already bad enough that I already feel that they chopped a bit too much off. So
No, it looks good. But
no.
I love
Honest,
short
no. I
hair.
know you do, but I
Yeah.
think it is just minimal. Like it's so minimal. But yeah, it does make me look like a private. Press S
I
to pay the sex.
well, tonight I am having single Highland malt Scotch whiskey,
Oh, very nice.
which is I preferred whiskey as I've stated on the show. I do not know how old this is. By the label, it looks like it's very, very old. Oh, yep, no, back label's been ripped off again. Yep.
Oh, is this one of those
one of the
another of those
minis?
bottles that
Yeah.
you got? Yeah, fair
So,
enough.
yeah, not
Probably been
sure.
hiding in a cupboard for at least 10 years.
Yeah, so it's going to be amazing, I'm sure.
Nice. Well, it is Highland whiskey, so it's
Oh,
usually pretty damn good. So,
my absolute
but,
favorite.
hello Brent, hello Nana, and hello Mike.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, I am delving into my Celtic background and learning. I'm going to try and learn Scots Gaelic.
Garlic.
Yes, garlic. Um, and oh, it smells so good. And I'm gonna try and do some axe throwing.
Nice.
Yeah, I really want to try
Just
that.
make sure you don't drink beforehand.
No, I don't think that.
I
Well,
actually
it is
don't
Ireland,
allow it.
but yes, I don't think
No,
they
they
allow.
don't tend to allow it due to safety reasons.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That'd be kind of cool. Although
Yes.
I'm a little bit disappointed because I've heard that it's easy, and I don't like easy sports. Not that. I mean, would that be a sport? I don't know if that would be a sport.
I mean, I could say something that could be conceived badly, but I'm not going to.
What?
Don't bother. Don't worry. I just won't.
Okay.
It won't. You won't get me to say anything dodgy on the stream, especially not whilst I'm running a test recording in the background.
Yes. Although you are in
Yeah.
charge of it. Yes, and I'm dreaming.
I am in what? Sorry.
You are in charge of that recording. See, it
I know.
just doesn't show.
Oh, I am.
Why
There
was
you
it not
go.
focused?
There you go. I mean, now for anyone who doesn't actually know the show, now knows that you're using a pseudonym when you record.
Well, it is my stage name.
I know. I mean, the whole point of having a stage name is that you don't actually tend to reveal your real name.
I know. The problem is I love my real name so much.
I know you do. Look, I've got the biggest problem because across all my social medias is basically my name. So if I say anything dodgy, then I'm held fully accountable. But hey, I don't care because I own it. I do. I'm not one to turn around. I'm not one to turn around and go, "Oh, sorry for what I said." No, I own it. I'm just like, yeah, it's my opinion. Deal with it.
Or if I say something, and then I learn better, I will go back and say, "Yeah, I'll go back and say, like, you know what? I was in a different place back then, and I know better now." But
yeah. But it's kind of the conversation I was having with someone on the way back yesterday. Is that based on previous work and the last job that I was in, where it was just where we got made redundant, I sort of just thought to myself, what's the point of like holding back now? Mm-hmm. And I've sort of kind of taken that into my new job now.
I mean, no, I do have to agree with you there. Let's see.
Anyway.
Chat.
I think that's sufficient for a recording.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot Pete's doing the recording. And it says, that's just another way for you to become more deadly. Yes. Mike says, try caber toss. Is that the big logs? The caber tossing?
Oh, what you mean, like the log, like the actual traditional Scottish sport of log throwing?
I want to do that so bad. See, I wonder. Yep, it is the big logs. Okay. See, I wonder.
I mean, I'm not quite sure that you need to be touching long planks of wood.
10 years, Pete. 10 years.
No, you keep saying
No,
it makes me sad every time
yeah,
because that
it
shouldn't
makes
be the
you
way.
sad.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't
It
be the
makes
case
me
for
real
anybody.
sad.
Shouldn't
Yeah,
be the case for anybody.
it makes
Nobody
me
should be
real
involuntary celibate.
sad. Yeah, but you know what's weird, and this is what I've been kind of exploring this week, is like there's this thing. Okay, I'm gonna get off on one of my tangents before we even start the show, and this may seem boring to people, and I apologize, but also no. There's
Never
this
apologize.
thing called genetic memory. Now, there's this theory that your recessive genes that are passed down, you know, for like eons or whatever,
Hmm.
they still are strong, you know, and like the fact that I'm, you know, nearly 6 foot tall and very muscular is clearly from my dad's side of the family because my
I
dad
would
was,
imagine so.
yeah, he was like 6'7" and like
Yeah, I was
500
going to
pounds.
say, especially if based on the description of what you told me about your mum, it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
and your
she's
mum's side
tiny.
of the family are very small
Yeah,
and
but they're both
petite.
Scottish. They're both Scottish, but different parts of Scotland. So I definitely have this like physique that matches that. But then ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to I'm ignoring chat right now. I've always wanted to like lift heavy things and punch things like not like just random, not be like a bully or
I want
anything.
to punch heavy things.
Yeah, punch heavy things and carry swords. I remember being like 6, and my brother he was already a teenager, and he started karate, and I was like begging my mom, please let me join karate. She's like, no, girls don't do that. It's not for girls. It's not ladylike. No, but I always had this like internal drive to do it.
Yeah.
So this week I've been reading about like Celtic women and stuff like that, and from like ancient times and stuff. And come to
Hmm.
find out, there is an island in Scotland that used to be called the Island of the Big Women. That
So
is amazing.
essentially,
Yes,
Futurama.
Futurama, and they were all me, and that's amazing, and I love it, and I'm
That sounds
excited.
sounds kind of awesome.
It does, and
And
it.
and and I'm glad Mike's just.
But get this. So it's an island of all women, named Island of the Big Women. Some Irish guys, Irish monks, showed up and tried to make them Christians, and they killed them in like one fell swoop. They just said
was,
bye.
was it by any chance Death by Snoo Snoo?
No, it's not Death by Snoo. But
Oh, what a
I'm
crappy way
sure,
to go out then.
I'm sure the monks would have liked it. I don't know. But anyway, but that was really cool to find out. Stuff.
Yeah, you stole my thunder there, Mike. I was literally just leading into that. You know. Right, 2 seconds. I didn't want to stop
Oh
listening
yes.
while she was explaining that, so I better check this recording.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's called genetic memory, and yeah, I know you can't hear me, P. I was talking to the audience. But I, anyway, if you've ever read Douglas Adams and if you've ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there's this very funny part in the beginning. Well, the whole series is hilarious. It's one of my favorite series. Um, there's this very funny part at the beginning where Arthur Dent is laying down in the mud in front of his house, and the guy, Proctor or whatever his name is, who is in charge of the bulldozers, comes over and is like, Arthur Dent, we're knocking down your house. And then Douglas Adams talks about how Proctor, or whatever his name is, can't understand why he has images of riding horses and swords and all this stuff, and he's like this short, thick, white British man, but in his head he just has all this like war and images and stuff like this, and he has an affinity for swords and a collection of swords. And then Douglas Adams, in his aside, in his narrating aside, as he does, says that the guy's a descendant from Genghis Khan, and so he's got this genetic memory of all these things. It's a joke and it's funny, but I think there's some truth to it.
There probably is some kind of truth to it, even though I've walked in halfway through some of this, but, you know.
Yes.
So, which is why I did the whole like that, because
Yes.
I'd already closed down voice meter and I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Let's see. Oh gosh, Mike Tendo says, "Just call me Percy Jackson." Yes, the lightning thief. Uh, And then it says, honestly, that sounds like one hell of a story to tell. And then Mike says, as there is no thunder worth stealing with lightning. Oh, goodness.
I mean, you mean maybe without lightning, I guess, but I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not here for corrections. Yeah, there you go. I run on assumptions, and you know what they say about assumptions.
Oh, they make an ass out of you and Mumptions. And some guy named Mumptions.
Damn you, Mumption.
Oh, goodness.
3 minutes, everyone. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
We're going to try and keep this to a swift hour and a half today because last week went very long.
That's what she said. Yes. Although, okay,
it was good. I enjoyed it, but Jesus,
it didn't get much traction. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I was honestly just about to have a look, but you know.
No, I wouldn't do it, Pete. It's not good. I was gonna say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, don't look at it. Wasn't good.
No, I just did. So.
Well.
Tough shit.
Yeah, but that was last week. This is a new week, a new dawn,
It is.
a new day. Yeah.
A new life for me, because I'm feeling good.
Yes.
Who did it better, Nina Simone or Muse?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Bublé.
Hell no. Ugh.
Yeah, but I love that whole.
Bublé is a boob.
Yeah, well, he is, but yeah, I like that whole retro futuristic stuff. Don't forget.
Yeah, I know you do, but it sucks ass.
I love Muse, but I sure do love Nina Simone, just in general.
You can't. I'm just gonna say you can't beat the original, but Muse did a very good version of it.
I love Muse.
I mean, I used to like Muse. I'm not gonna lie. Their first album's hit and miss. Their second album is good, or good to great.
Mm-hmm.
Their third album is, yeah. It's like one of those ones. It was like it's got some absolute bangers on it, but overall, from start to finish, kind of not a great album. Well, then the fourth album, Black Holes and Revelations, is probably their magnum opus, I think.
Oh, oh dear. Mike Tindo.
Took me a few days to listen to the last episode between bus trips. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's got to be Bublé because I just haven't met you yet. But hang on, wait. I've got a sound for that.
Oh dear. Oh.
There you go.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have just done the budums and just done that instead.
As long as we keep it off the recording, I think we'll be fine.
That's why I'm keeping it off the recording. It's pretty much.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Oh gosh. So, I have to admit, a terrible thing, that the reason why I didn't actually know who Muse were for a very long time, and I do feel bad about that. The way I found out about them was my guy best friend at the time was like really.
Is this back when you were in America or when you'd move over here?
No. This is way back in America.
Okay.
Like way back. He was really into Twilight. I couldn't stand Twilight. I couldn't stand it. But he loved it. And he was like, Kiley, you and I are Bella and whatever the dude's name is. I don't remember. Shiny Vampire. Edward. And I was like, oh, that's so flattering. And I tried to read it, but I couldn't. But then he was like, this is our song. So I remember.
What was the song?
Whatever the song was on that soundtrack.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. But I'm now going to have to find out, aren't I?
That was way too long ago. And don't forget, this is my bestie who ended up marrying another girl. So, so I don't even know. So I didn't know who they were. He gave me that song. And then I was like, oh, they're really good. And then I listened to more of their stuff. And then it turned out I actually really liked them.
Neutron Star Collision. That's the name of the song.
Okay. So bad at this. I'm not.
Oh, interesting enough. So an article's come up because I've searched this. It says from NME, Muse, we sold our soul to Twilight. In 2010. That's brilliant.
2010. Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah, there's a thing about Muse that someone pointed out to me, and now I cannot not notice them. So I'm not
Oh
going to say
no.
what it is
Oh
on air
no.
because everyone else will probably notice it afterwards.
Oh great.
I mean, that doesn't take away my enjoyment of their first four albums because their first four
Mhm.
albums are incredible. Well, some of them are. Black Holes and Revelations is just spectacular.
Yeah, I do like them. Yeah. Like if they come up, I enjoy them. I don't have them on my playlist, but that's probably intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, my love affair with Muse ended when the Resistance album came out because there's some crap on that
All
album.
right. Is that like a
Well,
recent one?
no, that's their fifth album. So that was, I think the problem was it came after Black Holes and Revelations, which I think is their magnum opus,
Right.
and it was always going to be a tough act to follow. But
Right.
it does have probably one of my favourite Muse songs, which is United States of Eurasia, which is very much an ode to Queen songs.
Oh, very cool. I'm sure I've heard it, but I will
You
need to.
probably have. You
Yeah.
would as soon as you hear it, you're just like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
so unbelievably Queen. It's unreal.
Love Queen. I love Queen. I
Queen.
love ABBA.
I'm gonna be honest. I love certain songs of Queen, but I think most of their albums from start to finish aren't exactly great.
I don't know if I've ever listened to.
Most people just listen to the hits, and
I'll
there's
tell you
probably good
what
reason
though.
behind that.
Their best work is the Highlander soundtrack. To bring it
Hello,
back
Sunshine.
around. Oh, hello, it's a joke. Yes, I love Queen. I really, really do. Um,
Yeah, they are good. I like quite a lot of their songs, but it's
mhm.
yeah, it's, I just can't think I can listen to an album from start to finish because there's, you know how they talk about the typical album tracks.
Yeah, like
Queen have a lot of album tracks.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah. Although I would say that you should try the Highlander song.
Oh, I like the Highlander soundtrack. It's good,
Oh,
even though
Princess
I've
of
never
the
watched the
Universe.
movie.
And oh, you haven't watched the movie? What? Pete is like so good. Just the first one. I watched the second one. It's okay. It's just not it. It's strange. But that first one
Okay.
is so good. It's so
Yeah,
80s.
it's one of those films that my mum and dad did quite enjoy, and I think we had it on DVD, but I was just a bit too young to appreciate, so I never really picked it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And
Because my
we've gotten
mom
rid of
made
it
me
since.
watch it. Ah, right. See, my mom made me watch it.
Well,
Um,
yeah, because of Scottish
well,
heritage, you know.
it's the same name. Yeah, I guess that's actually a good point, actually. Um, but yeah, no, it's really good. But then Who Wants to Live Forever is a song on that soundtrack that literally makes me cry. Like, literally. It is so sad.
Fair enough.
Um,
Yeah, there are songs like that.
yeah.
In soundtracks that tend to tend to hit you in the feels.
Yeah.
I could go back and listen to. I know most of it is kind of licensed music, but and the film is great until the last 20 minutes. But I could go back and listen to the Baby Driver soundtrack anytime and just
See,
be
I need to.
really content with it because
Yeah.
it's magnificent. That film is brilliant until the last 20 minutes.
I I've debated watching it. I know we've talked about that before. That I
Baby
should go
Driver is
watch it.
great. Like
Yeah.
incredible performances by everyone all round, and it made me. I'm just gonna put this out there. It made me really appreciate Lily James.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she's a
She is
pretty
very.
actress,
Yeah.
and she's good.
Yes, she
She's a
is.
good actress too. Not to say that she's just for show,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's very good because you wouldn't even know in that film that she's actually British.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she is British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Oh,
she
yeah,
she
yeah.
does a great American accent to be honest, especially in
Very
the. I
cool.
can't remember what area. I think it's Detroit actually they're in, but yeah, I have to watch the film again.
Yeah. Well, I definitely need to.
It was one of those films that I watched kind of on repeat for a little bit because I loved it so much. But it's
Right.
hard to go back and watch now after what. I know he was acquitted, but the damage was already
I
done with Kevin
I
Spacey.
know. Then we get back into the separate the artist from the art, and
I yeah, I kind of
sometimes I
can,
can,
but kind of
sometimes I
can't at
can't.
sometimes.
That's so weird
Yeah,
to me. I kind of almost pick and choose who I can.
howdy,
So,
Mags.
oh hey Max, um, yeah, it's just weird because I can't seem to like some people I can separate the art and the artist, but
Mm-hmm.
We probably should get started.
We should
We've been
go
on a
for
30-minute
Look,
tangent.
I know. But now that Mags is here, we can get started. No, I'm joking. No.
Oh my gosh, that was a
But
30-minute tangent.
yeah, it's what happens though, isn't it? It's us. When do we ever not go on a tangent?
30 minutes though.
Yes,
Okay. That's
usually.
I was gonna say, well, it is usually.
Look at how many tangents we went on last week. It was 2 hour, like plus 2 hour plus show.
And get this, people. Now I will go back.
No,
over
don't
this.
do it. Don't do it.
What?
Are you going to talk about the listener numbers?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh,
I
good.
promised myself I wouldn't say that. Although, yes, please listen to us. We didn't have very good numbers last week. But that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, thank God for that.
I was going to say that, and I'll reiterate this after we start the show officially, but Pete has got a surprise list for me of topics. So that's going to be fun. I don't know what's coming up.
All news stories all the time. That's it. But yeah, I've kept it to myself this week.
This is always fun when that happens.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
Also you've been off social media, so you have no clue what's been going on.
And guys, I know it sounds like I'm a hippie or something. I don't know. But not being on social media, as in like the heart of the beast, it's so good for your mental health. I'm like,
it is. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been tending to go back to Twitter every so often now because of the podcast, and it's depressing every single time.
Yeah, I don't miss it.
So, right, side.
Yep, 179, right? Because we're doing fine.
That's why you called it. Okay, fair enough. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so recording now, and you can start in 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 179. I threw in podcast in there because sometimes I forget it. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello, how could you forget the episode number when I said it 5 seconds before recording?
Because, Pete, I don't have an answer for that because there's no more room in my brain.
Goldfish.
It is, yes, I have a 15-second memory, and the rest of my brain is filled with wine. Although I did just have a whiskey on the rocks.
Today it's filled with whiskey.
Yes, although like it was
whiskey
nice.
In a jar. Oh.
Anyway, did you know there is a Minecraft add-on where you get to start Minecraft in a jar?
Nice.
There's so many Minecraft.
If you go deep enough, do you find enough Metallica?
Oh gosh. Oh. I was gonna say that works on so many levels, but then that's a further level. Okay, so if you're still with us,
you come here for the bad jokes, really. Honestly,
gosh. That's all we are. But every week I like to ask our guests, but we don't have one this week, how their week's been. So instead, I will ask Pete. Pete, how's your week been?
It's been busy. It's been a very busy week at work this week, so I'm not really going to go too much into detail about it. But yeah, it's been a fun weekend, though. I went go-karting yesterday, and now I have a bad back. There's a G-forces round corners. It's great.
I'm very jealous of the go-karting. I am not jealous of the back hurting. But I want to
No, I'm definitely not.
Bad.
I've been wanting to go for a good few years now, since I did it in Portugal about 7 years ago. So,
right.
Yeah.
Did you
got
win?
The chance to go. No, of course we didn't. It was kind of a work charity function, and
That's
one of
cool.
the people, one of the persons who organised it happens to be the CEO of the company. Who his son is a semi-professional racing driver. So yeah, that's not likely to be the case that we'd win.
No, he probably gave him like tips and stuff, like lean into it or lean away. Wait.
Probably, but it was just about having fun.
Are you supposed to lean into the curve?
Apparently so, and I saw a few people doing it, but I don't really know. I'll be honest. When I drive, I kind of have tunnel vision, and I only care about pure speed.
Yeah, you turn it into Mario Kart. You were looking for shells.
I wasn't, but I was hoping for a banana skin at one point.
Nope, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. But Yeah. So
Yeah,
was that all for your week?
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Today's just been recovering and watching golf. So yeah, fun.
Yeah, saw that. The Ryder Cup. That's a thing that exists. And
USA
then
suck.
Europe beat USA. How do you know this stuff, Kylie? Only because someone made a joke about it last week and I had to go do research on what the Ryder Cup was. Because
Excellent.
I didn't know what it was.
It's all right because within a week of each other, Europe have beaten the US in both the Solheim Cup and the Ryder Cup.
I don't know
And
what that
the
is.
Solheim Cup is the ladies' version.
Oh, oh, yay.
Yeah. And I watched them both because I'm not a bigot.
I'm very glad. I'm very glad, Pete. That makes me very happy. But, yes. So, my week. It's my turn now.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. I got thrown off by you. Go, what?
This is what kind of episode this is going to be. It's going to be kind of silly and loosey-goosey because guess what? Pete and I both have been so busy, we actually have not spoken this week, which
No.
never happens. So
No,
when
I
we
have
do...
not got a single message from you until today. It was like about 5 minutes before. It was
Yep.
like, are we recording normal time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit. I probably should have told you that.
Yep. So anyway, this week completed for me a full month of working out every day.
Oh, hey.
And which I'm very proud of myself for that. No, I'm
Good.
not preparing for a competition, but I'm just trying to clear my mind. And working out helps me clear my mind. And I have lost, I kid you freaking not, 15 pounds or 1 stone and 1 pound in a month.
That's really good.
1 month. It's very difficult for a female to lose that much weight. I have been working
It's generally
really hard.
quite difficult for anybody to lose that kind of weight in a month.
I mean, it is, but dudes do lose weight faster.
They do, but yeah, it's still quite a challenge because you've obviously got to, change diets and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
But let's not take away from the accomplishment because it is a very good one.
Well, all I know is that I'm just about at my pre-lockdown weight, which is like I'm literally like 5 pounds off, which is good. Then I can keep going. But my clothes are too big. Like they're like way big. Like even tonight, I went to go put on like a really cool T-shirt to be like in with the theme, and it was like, oh no, oh this is bad. It was massive, and I was like, oh. Okay. And even what I'm wearing now is like, it's actually hanging off of me when I stand up. Oh dear.
Look at chat. Should look at chat.
Chat is really, oh, chat, you're so amazing. But, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing a catch up live as it happens.
Pretty much, yeah.
But
yeah, it's the Mike Tendo one. It says, I can lose 15 pounds in seconds. Has anyone seen my wallet? That was good. Yeah.
And then Nana's like, are you saying this episode is going to be 1.5 hours long?
I think it's meant, are we sure this is going to be like...
Oh!
Press X to doubt, basically. It's going to be an hour and a half.
We have literally the best chat. But...
We do. You rule.
What I said before we hit the record button, and I'm going to reiterate it now. See, this is the part where I usually go, oh, we've got a really great show for you. Stick around. And here's what's going to happen. And I say it in a falsetto, too, so I don't know. But actually, I don't know what's coming up because it is a surprise. Because Pete decided, sometimes he does this and it's funny. The results are usually funny and full of tangents and ranting. He makes a list of stories, new stories that I know nothing about. And that's what he's done today. So everything's going to be a mystery. For me.
Okay, well, grab your woolly boots because you're about to start wading through shite.
Pete, I thought you said something else.
Sorry?
I thought you said something else, and I was going to be like, what?
I said grab your wellies.
Yes, but I thought you said another word that sounds like wellies, but isn't wellies. Anyway, I'm going to turn this back over to Pete, and I'm going to drink. So, ta-da!
Excellent.
Pete.
Oh my God, Nana's posted up a poll. Will this be an hour and a half?
Yes.
Well, let's find out at the end of the episode.
Well, yes. I'm start drinking. Yes. 5 more kilos. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yes.
That's nothing.
I mean, having
That's
COVID
a.
probably helps with that, to be honest.
I was gonna say, and that's what one curry meal and
Wow.
or
Okay.
something, whatever upsets your stomach. Curry upsets my stomach.
What
I love it to
what do you
death.
what do you mean from that Family Guy joke of have I got anything to do where I'm not going to be in crippling pain over a toilet for 4 hours? No? Well, time for some tikka masala.
Yes, that is me. I love curry so
Classic.
much.
I do as
Vindaloo.
well, but
Oof.
yeah, it
Vindaloo.
absolutely kicks my butt.
Literally.
Yes.
Anyway, before
All
we
right.
go over
Okay.
there,
Yeah. Right. So I've got 5 stories for you today. One potentially I'm going to leave on the chopping block because it depends on how much time we've got. Because some of these could take a little bit of time. So I'll wade into the first story, which may be a little bit shorter. But now that we're in October, this didn't come up until earlier on when I was checking the stories. Platinum Games seem to have a very interesting Octobers. For
right?
some strange reason or another, because I recall your mind back to last October
Mm-hmm.
when we had the issues going on with Helena Taylor,
Refresh my mind.
where she quoted she did not get paid enough for her role in
Yes,
Bayonetta
yes,
3.
yes, that's correct. Yes, it was a big deal,
So,
and she was insane. Yeah, well, allegedly insane. Yes.
yeah. Okay, so that's the preface to this story where I quote, "I won't disappoint you. Kamiya thanks fans for support after quitting Platinum Games."
I. Mm,
Let's
okay.
read the story
Yes,
and
read the
then we can
story.
comment. So Bayonetta and Wonderful 101 director Hideki Kamiya has thanked fans for their support following his decision to leave Platinum Games. The company's vice president and co-founder announced on Monday that he will be leaving Platinum next month and that he made the decision after a lot of consideration based on my own beliefs.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, he's now taken to Twitter to thank people for the messages of support he's received and assure them he will continue making gains wherever he ends up next. Quote, "I thought I'd be bullied more because of my usual behaviour,
Well,
but I'm
he's got weird online behavior. He does. He does.
yeah,
He does. He does.
yeah, we went into this all
Yeah.
last year when we talked about this
And you
in
were blocked
depth.
by
So
him, weren't you?
I don't know if I still am, and also can't check
Mm-hmm.
because that's on my personal account that's no longer existing.
Yes.
So, well, but carry on with the quote. "But I'm so touched by all the words of support I've received," Kamiya wrote. "Thank you so much." He added, "I'm not worried about my future at all. As long as I have your support, I'll keep making games and I'll do my best not to disappoint you. When I decided to quit, many of my old and young colleagues and staff were sad to see me go, and some even shed tears for someone like me. I realised once again that I was only able to be who I am because of the support of the people around me. I will continue to be grateful for the help of others." So, perhaps hinting at the reason for his departure, Kamiya then added, "I will continue to believe in the spirit of creation that I have always believed in through my career at Capcom Number 4 Development, Clover Studios, and Platinum, no matter what anyone says. I don't know if I'll be able to continue to make games that live up to that belief. I don't have a formula for success, but I'm committed to aiming for it." So, but the last bit of this just goes into his back history of what games he's directed, such as Resident Evil 2, Devil
Yeah.
May Cry, Beautiful Joe, Okami, Bayonetta, Astral Chain, and was currently working on Project GG before his departure. So, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Tendo has come in and says Hideki Kamiya has finally been blocked by Platinum Games.
Yes.
Brilliant. So,
uh,
yeah, another industry veteran has decided to make their way away from a company. So let's talk about it. Good news, bad news? Does this spell the end for Platinum?
it definitely doesn't spell the end, in my opinion. I think I'm of two minds. Yes, a lot of people do. A lot of the older creators seem to be jumping ship. Blah blah blah. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of sad because it's good to have the previous generation around to teach the younger generation, blah, blah, blah. But by that same token, it's also really good to get new blood in because holy crap. Oh, we're going to talk about a certain person later. It just popped up in my head, Pete.
Oh, so you know about that one then?
I do. I do. It just popped in my head. But only because somebody posted about it in Discord. Um,
Yes. Several people posted about it in Discord.
okay. Of course, I only saw one. I'm never on Discord. Um,
I know you're not.
but having said that, and I'm going to say the same thing when we go over that, it's good to get new blood in because some of these people have just been, they are stuck in the Stone Age. And we need to move forward with things. Not saying that, Hideki is doing that or anything by any means, but he's a bit. I love strange people. I'm strange, and I love strange people. And his behavior has always amused me more than put me off.
Hmm.
Because I saw it as almost intentional. But the whole thing regarding that controversy was weird on both sides. And so I've been a little bit wary of him since then, if that makes sense.
Since last year, I've
Yeah.
been a little bit
Just a
jaded
little.
with him, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So I think I hate to say it's a good thing because I'm not saying that it's a good thing he's leaving. Get that rat out. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying it's good for progress. It would be good to see where Platinum Games goes forward because that's all they can
Hmm.
do is move forward. Because they have done so well. I would say, their last couple of releases, not great, but that's what I'm saying. It's not great. So they only have they can only go up. But
It could go very down.
I like what Mike said. Oh, I still have thoughts about Starfield. Is it stuck in the Stone Age? Are we gonna start talking about Bethesda again? Aren't we? Oh,
No, let's not because I
mm,
don't want to.
I'm so over Starfield. Like it's not even a
I'm
joke.
so
It's
over talking about Bethesda or Microsoft or the deal
uh-huh.
or anything because last week was pretty much all Microsoft.
It was. But
There was a lot
anyway,
of Microsoft.
Pete, what are
Yes.
your thoughts and feelings about Hideki leaving Platinum Games?
Um, it's disappointing somewhat because
Right.
being he was the main creative person
Mm-hmm.
associated. Uh he helped set the company up after their
Yeah.
transition from being a main staple of Capcom's development teams to then Clover Studios, and the deal that they got for whilst subcontracting for Capcom was kind of crappy. So it was nice to see them go out on their own and do their own thing. They've obviously become a bit more of an industry veteran and one of the more dependable studios out there to actually create games. So
Yeah.
people know them. They have a pedigree, especially when it comes to action games. So such as Bayonetta, obviously being involved in the original development of Devil May Cry as well. Which,
Right.
you know, so it's it is a disappointment, but I do feel like there is agreeing with you. There's probably time to bring new talent in to try
Yeah.
a new direction to see where the chips may land. But part of me wonders whether or not there was something else going on here.
Okay. I didn't really want to say anything because it would be just conjecture, but I mean, right? Because it's kind
Yeah,
of
so
out of the blue. It's kind of like when Dan Hauser left.
I
It's
don't
kind of
I
like,
don't know if it was out of the blue, let's say, and it was a little bit of a surprise because you would have thought that because he being co-founder of the company, a major player in it, that he would stay on for quite a long period of time. Um, but uh, the last few games that they've had has been marred in some sort of controversy, let's say.
yeah.
So Bayonetta 3 having the big fallout of Helena Taylor. I think Platinum probably came out looking better out of all of
I
that, but
mean, eventually,
some are, yeah,
but at
eventually,
first they didn't.
but some of Kamiya's comments were taken with some fervor by us as well.
Yeah.
You know, obviously when the story evolved, we walked some of that back, and
Yeah,
you know,
you had to.
with time, more information comes out, and sometimes people were too quick to jump the gun. I think we were at the time as well.
Well, I thought we were pretty measured, actually.
We were measured, but I think because of the information that was on offer, our first take on it was solely towards Helena rather than actually looking at it, you know, as a whole. Anyway, that doesn't matter, Um, but let's be honest. So apart from that, the re-release of the Wonderful 101 being a Kickstarter probably didn't help them,
Yep,
because
that was
that was a
weird.
PR nightmare
Mm-hmm.
for them, and
It was.
well, it was very unfortunate for them because I don't know. It was weird for them. It was very weird. They clearly had the capital available to be able to do it, but they just wanted people to pay up front for it. And then let's not talk about Scalebound, shall we? Because everyone talks about how much of a disaster Scalebound was, and they
I
clearly
forgot about that.
put in a lot of millions into the development of that
Yeah.
game for it to be cancelled by Microsoft.
Yep, I actually forgot
So,
about that.
but the main crux of the issue, why I think there was something major going on, because he was the key creative person involved in Project GG. He was directing it. So if he's writing and directing, who's taking the reins on that one now?
Right.
But they also just had an investment from a company that most consider to be a bit, which is
Ah.
Tencent.
Yeah.
And it's possible that with the investment by Tencent, there may have been a caveat to turn Project GG into a live service game.
See, then we do have a Dan Houser situation.
It's very possible, yeah, but like I didn't really want to go that
I
way
know. I mean,
around
you can't
straight
really say
away. I wanted
that,
to
but
No, but I wanted to think about it first and sort of
yeah.
lay it all out to get to that point. But I don't know. I think over the course of time we will find out more about this. But obviously now's not the time. It'll probably be when he departs next month.
Yeah.
We might hear more. Someone might go in and try and find more out before he leaves, or what's to say that he may not come out in a couple of years' time and do a full on the record interview with a major outlet to say this is exactly what was happening, but I couldn't discuss due to an NDA.
Could be.
You never know.
Again, I was hoping Dan Houser would do that too.
Well, I think the problem with Dan Houser is the fact that his brother is still heavily involved with
Yeah,
Rockstar.
that's true.
That it's probably, one, because he doesn't want to cause a rift with the family, and
Yeah.
two, because I reckon Take-Two's NDAs are a lot stricter than Platinum
Frickin'
Games
heck.
probably would ever be.
That's probably actually true. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, this slightly disappointing, let's say, because to be honest,
He's a character.
he's a character, and he's the key creative component of Platinum Games as well. So, it'd be interesting to see what they put out in the future without him at the helm.
Yeah.
But speaking of games that are in trouble,
Ooh.
Sony claims it delisted the KOTOR remake trailer due to music license expiring. Now, do you
Okay.
remember, obviously, that KOTOR Remake was announced with a short 1-minute video
Yes.
on a PlayStation State of Play when the PS5 was first shown?
I do remember
Well, let's read the story and find out what the hell is going on, because this is
Yes.
weird.
Okay.
So Sony has attempted to clarify its recent removal of social media posts related to the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. This week, fans noticed that the tweet from the primary PlayStation Twitter account announcing the game in 2021 had been deleted. So, sorry, the trailer wasn't when they announced the PS5, it was about a year after. My mistake. While the title's reveal trailer has been made private. This, combined with press reports of the title's alleged troubled development, led to speculation that the game could be the latest casualty of restructuring efforts at Aspire's parent company, the Embracer Group. Now, the Embracer Group are in real hot water at the moment, so let's continue and we can talk about that a bit more. So, now Sony has issued a statement in response to the removal of social media's post relating to KOTOR Remake, claiming it was due to music licenses expiring. We'll get into that. Quote, as part of normal business, we delist assets with licensed music when the licenses expire, a Sony spokesperson said. As noted by journalist Stephen Totillo, it's not clear why music for an upcoming video game would expire, especially because the music featured in the trailer was
Say
from
it.
the Star
Say it.
Wars movies and not licensed externally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but the article beat me to the punch. Thank you. Um, a search of PlayStation's YouTube account. Sorry, I have to go on a small tangent here. There are some weird people out there that spend far too much time on social media looking into these kinds of things. Great for understanding this kind of thing and reporting stories, but there are far too many people who are perpetually online.
Yes, I was gonna say I'm
Go
glad they
go
are though, because I
go
can't do
touch grass for Christ's sakes. Seriously. I hate that term, but they do need to.
Oh goodness.
Anyway, a search of the PlayStation's YouTube account shows that many Star Wars game trailers, at least as far back as 10 years ago, are still publicly listed.
Right.
Hmm. Build is a collaboration between Aspyr Media and production partners Lucas Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game was announced as a timed PS5 console exclusive during a PlayStation Showcase event in September 2021. Knights of the Old Republic remake has reportedly been beset by problems over the last
Yeah.
few years. Bloomberg claimed last summer that Aspyr had stopped working on the game and that the future of the title was up in the air. Embracer earlier had confirmed that Saber Interactive was working on the game, and some of Bloomberg's sources said they believed it was possible Saber had taken over development of the project entirely. Now, this is not without a few other problems when it comes to KOTOR, specifically KOTOR 2.
You're right.
Now, do you happen to remember during a Nintendo Direct that when they announced that KOTOR 2 was coming back, that they were going to release it with previously unreleased DLC?
I have a vague memory of that, but
Okay, well,
yeah.
they did, and the trailer is still up, and Aspyr were heavily
Right.
involved in the development of KOTOR 2. The game is now out, but a class action lawsuit has been lodged because they have cancelled the previous
Oh
DLC,
goodness. Oh dear.
despite making promises about it.
Oh dear. Oh. Oh wait. Okay. Oh, this is new territory. This is gonna set a precedent.
In what way?
Now, if this goes through, this lawsuit,
Yeah.
then anyone can sue games for promising DLC or promising dates of release and stuff like that, and then when they don't deliver,
Um, not even just dates, not even previously promised content. What bigger effect will it have?
well, I would probably say if your game's not, if you show it at like 4K and
Bang
120
on. There you
FPS,
go.
yeah, and then
The
release it.
when they put out PC versions of
Yeah.
trailers that are clearly not
Oh
indicative of
dear.
the way the game will look on a console version,
Oh dear, dear, dear.
specifically a Switch version potentially.
Oh dear.
Do we happen to remember what happened with Gotham Knights,
Oh gosh.
where they promised 60 frames per second,
Mm-hmm.
4K,
We're so mad.
and it turned out not even to be the case on the PC version.
People were so mad.
Hmm.
Oh goodness. Oh, Mike makes
Oh,
an even
okay.
better
Yep. Thank
point.
you, Mike. Yeah. So not just promised. I believe the cancelled DLC was up for pre-order, which people had bought.
Oh, see, okay.
Oh dear.
I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna sound terrible, but I'm kind of into this. I don't like
Yeah, me
false
too.
promises. Just give me
Yeah,
real.
me neither.
Just straight
Uh,
up tell me. You know.
yeah, I'd rather be told
Mhm.
this game is running like if it's a Switch version, this game is going to run 720 at 30 frames
Yeah.
because more recently it has come out, and I left this out of the stories from last week, but obviously there was a lot more to cover. But do you remember how Konami had said that the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection was going to come out and aim for 60 frames on all
Yes.
consoles? No, it's
Yeah.
basically 30 frames on the Switch on every
Mhm.
single game. I think no, I think so. It is 1080p on. So Metal Gear Solid One is 720
Which
at
is
30
insane.
frames,
That is insane.
and every other game on there is 1080p 60 on PS5 and Xbox Series.
No.
Despite the fact that the GOG version of Metal Gear Solid One
Yes,
runs 60 frames per second.
that's right. I remember that. I remember us
This is a
discussing that.
yeah, this is appalling.
So
Yeah,
I think this is good. I think this is a good move. I don't like frivolous lawsuits. I think that they tie courts up, blah blah blah.
they
But
do.
sometimes corporations need to be held accountable. They just do.
100%. You
Yep.
know, there's a lot of shady practice that happens
Mhm.
within corporations, and that's not me coming at it and going socialism. No, I'm not. I know you are, but yeah, no, but I think anyone should be held accountable if they make promises that their butt can't
Yep.
cash.
Yes. I think the saying is writing
Writing checks that your
checks
ass can't cash.
that or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. All right.
they
That works.
honestly they do need to be held
Yeah.
accountable for making frivolous promises that they're clearly either not going to deliver on or never had
Exactly.
intention of delivering. I don't know if they didn't have intentions to deliver on it because
I mean,
being a pre-order, you would think that they were.
well, that's the thing. Because as I say, things do happen. Like even in my company, things happen that you can't predict. They're
Yes.
unexpected. You've set a deadline, and maybe one little cog in the machine is thrown
Mm,
off. Which throws the whole chain off. That's understandable. But when you're promising things to the point where they're being pre-ordered, I think at that point, yeah, you got to
mm.
be held accountable. Yes.
Yeah, and that's like there has been more recent news over the last few weeks that apparently Embracer Group are in huge problems at the moment because they've probably overbought
I
on quite a lot of IPs, and now
okay.
they're shutting studios down.
I wanted to say that if we needed to explain who Embracer Group are for our lovely listeners and
They
watchers,
basically own nearly everything that's
yeah,
not Microsoft, Sony, or
I was gonna
Nintendo.
say if you look at the pie chart with what they own versus let's say Microsoft because they're the ones that are in the news, it far outstrips Microsoft, which is why
Okay.
I mistakenly said that the Microsoft Activision acquisition was going to go through without a hitch because Embracer
Mm,
Group owns everything and no one's ever challenged them.
yeah. So
But
just
yeah, so they're shutting down because they overextended themselves. You can't just
they did.
own IPs. You have to have the money to invest in them and prop them up. You can't just say,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I bought," you know, I forget what they own. I was gonna say King, but they don't own King. That's Microsoft.
I'm going into this. So
Okay.
I've just happened to bring up a Wikipedia article showing the list of studios and parent companies that they own,
It's like everything.
including THQ Nordic,
Mm-hmm.
PlayOn, Co-Media, which is Dan Buster Studios, Fish Labs, and Volition. Well, we know about Volition
Yeah.
now. Coffee Stain Holdings, which is Coffee Stain Studios, North,
No,
and Ghost Ship Games.
no. If you don't know what Coffee State is, that is Goat Simulator.
Yeah. Also, Saber Interactive, Aspire.
Yep.
They. I'm just going through the list as they come up. So more Saber. Um, Flying Wild Hog. They also happen to buy the rights to the Lord of the Rings as well,
Yeah. They just.
the Peter Jackson trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they also own, and this is a huge one, Gearbox Software.
Yes, which is now up, as we know. They're up for
Mhm.
auction.
They are, with one company particularly circling round them, which happens to be Take Two.
Yeah, which is actually a good fit, in my opinion. Um,
Yes. But also, I'm trying to see anyone else that they have
I
as
do
well.
like what Mike says because it's the truth. The
Oh,
Embracer Group collapsed under the weight of their own empire, much like every other empire in history. What, Pete?
they own Dark Horse. And that's
See,
Dark Horse Comics and everything.
they were just buying up freaking everything. That's why there hasn't been another Whatchamadoodle game.
Yeah.
With the little demons. I forget it.
Also,
not Witchblade. Witchblade.
I'm gonna say these last couple because they are prevalent and they're massive. Middle Earth Enterprises, like I said.
Yes, that's
which is why we had that incredibly hideous Golem game that came out. And yes, I was kind of excited about that until I saw the state of the game. But that studio is now officially shut down as well.
Yep, I remember when that happened.
Yep. They also ended up buying Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal from Square Enix. Obviously rebranded them, of course. Now, I'd say probably one of the biggest limited run games.
I did not know
that'll be why limited run games sucks recently.
I say I did not know they owned limited run. I didn't know that.
I did remember that they bought them a while back, but yeah, it's shocking, really.
Whew, this is nope.
Do you know what makes this worse?
Rant. What?
Do you know what makes this worse? What franchise did they? I'm trying to think of the words here. What franchise was bought, re-announced as having a new game come out, and we've heard absolutely nothing about it since, despite it being about 2 years ago?
Well, I can think of two.
Which are?
Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones is currently with Machine Games, which is obviously under the Bethesda IP.
Yeah, but they haven't really released any more about that, and they need to.
They have not.
But yes, Tomb Raider.
Well, Tomb Raider is currently ongoing because they've just announced a new animated series coming out on Netflix. So, but there is a game in production apparently, but who knows?
Supposedly. But anyway, which one?
Do I dare say?
Yeah, because I don't.
Free Radical Design and Time Splitters.
Oh no, that's right. Oh Pete. Oh poor Pete. Oh poor Pete. Oh.
I knew it was too good to be true. I
I
always knew it.
Oh dear. Ah. Yeah.
Damn you, Embrace Group! You ruined it.
Pete was highly. It's like since we started this show 4 years ago. That is what Pete has been asking for. Fates.
I'm not going to actually do it, but you know. I'm going to pour one out for the homies.
I was like, are you going to pour one out for the homies? Yes, that's exactly what he was going to do.
Right, yeah. Poor Free Radical Design. They thought they had a win there. Finally, after being gobbled up by Crytek.
Mike has the same sentiment.
Please don't say it, P. My poor heart can't take any more bad news. Yeah, trust me, it did not sit well with me even when I just remembered that.
Yeah. See, but like I'm sitting here, I know most of what Embracer Group owns. I've seen it in chart form. And yet
it's so much.
No one's ever come after them and see what's happening. Like Mike
because
said.
because it was very minimal acquisitions for short prices, probably when stock was down and people were wanting to sell.
I remember when Volition and THQ went up because THQ used to own Volition or the other way.
They did, yeah.
I can't remember.
THQ Nordic held the parent company for a while.
And I was heartbroken right after Saints Row 4 went up. Like literally, they went up on the auction block. I was gutted. Yeah. I knew the fall was coming.
Yep.
But
so anyway, to bring this back to obviously KOTOR.
Oh yes.
Well, it required a discussion about Embracer Group to talk about this. So, what do you reckon's happening with the KOTOR remake?
It's not happening. It's not.
I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to, but yeah, I think it's been quietly cancelled.
I'm sad about it because I, like most people, have wanted that. It's one of the best. At the time, it was one of the best Star Wars. I think there's been a couple of them that have come out that are pretty decent, but it's in a
still the best Star Wars game out there. I'm afraid
it's really really up there for me.
There are some Star Wars games, don't get me wrong, that are very, very good. People would say Jedi Outcast, Jedi Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
Jedi
I love
Fallen
Jedi
Order
Survivor.
are very much up there, or
Order
Order
of the
of the
Fallen.
Fallen, as you call it.
And
Battle
Force
like the original.
Unleashed. Force
I was
Unleashed
going
is
to
my
say the
favorite.
Force Unleashed 1 and 2, as well as the original Battlefront series.
Mm, right?
So
I
there
always
are some
forget about
very,
Battlefront.
very good Star Wars games out there.
There are. But
I
this
just
is
think that KOTOR and KOTOR 2 stood head and shoulders above them,
yeah.
and that was back when BioWare were just absolutely slapping on every level.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's going to
goodness.
be a tough ask to obviously bring it out with all these problems going on at Embracer and Aspyr and Saber Interactive.
Well, all
So
I can hope is that it does collapse in on itself like a star in the
sure,
universe and turns into a black
okay,
hole, and then other companies with more money buy it and then invest in those little subsidiaries. That's my hope.
yeah, me too. Anyway, do you want to
Yes.
hear what Capcom happened to think about pricing?
Sure. I would love to hear what Capcom, such a great company, Capcom, think on pricing.
The president of Capcom has said he believes video games should cost more to buy.
Of course he did. I knew it. I freaking knew it before you even said it. Stupid Capcom. Anyway, yes.
This was a late addition to the news, by the way. So
Ah.
anyway, according to a report by Nikkei, why do I do this to myself? Japanese president. I'm not reading Japanese names.
Just call him by his initials. That's what I do.
Well, I'm gonna give it an attempt as a surname at least. Sujimoto.
Ooh. It's very nice when you say
Um,
it. It's very
uh,
smooth.
was was speaking during the Tokyo Game Show about several topics, including the increasing cost of game development.
What?
Sujimoto reportedly said that he felt game prices should reflect these increasing prices, and that they're currently too cheap. Quote: I feel that game prices are too low. Development costs are around 100 times higher than they were in the days of the Famicom or the NES, but the price of
That was like
software
30,
hasn't
40
risen
years
so much.
ago. That's insane. You can't do a comparison to 40 years ago.
I will. I'll do it later.
That is insane.
I
Okay.
will do it later. You'll find out why
Okay.
I'm shaking my head. Anyway, there is also a need to raise wages in order to attract talented people. Given the wages are rising across the industry as a whole, I think the option of raising unit prices is a healthy form of business. End quote. While some publishers have started charging $70 for their games, Capcom has yet to make this move. The standard editions of Street Fighter 6 and Resident Evil 4 Remake each cost $60 at launch. Capcom also announced last year that it would be raising its employees' base salaries by 30% and introducing a new bonus system more closely tied to the company's business performance. That makes me worry. Because do you happen to remember when, and you'll know this specifically, and I'm Obsidian. I was blanking on the name of the
Oh,
development unit there.
yes.
Do
I
you happen
love
to remember that
Obsidian.
their bonuses were hinged by Bethesda based on a Metacritic result for New
Oh,
Vegas?
right. Oof. That
Why does that appear to be making a return?
that was such a messed up thing to do. Mm. Uh,
Hmm.
I think bonus based or performance based bonuses are just freaking easy ways for corporations to get out of paying their workers. I mean, duh. And that makes me very angry.
I don't necessarily agree, especially if they've just raised the base salaries by 30%. Then it means that they're doing something to make those a little bit more palatable, let's say, especially with the cost of living increase and all that
Yeah,
across the world, which
but
is nice.
yeah,
But
that part's
obviously,
good.
but the bad part is obviously tying performance
Mm.
related bonuses behind that. But I do
And
feel
how
like a lot of
far
it.
does it go
Go on.
up? how far does it go up? Are we talking about performance based for the line workers at the bottom? Who, yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one because I think it will tie into something else
Okay.
later on. So let's put a stopper on that for now
Okay.
because it will come up later, I think.
Right. Okay.
Massively. Anyway, elsewhere in Nikkei's article, Tsujimoto also reportedly said that he didn't feel the current economic climate was affecting video game sales, saying, quote, business, confidence, and high prices have little to do with the games industry. Just as the recession didn't stop people from going to the cinema or going to their favourite artist's concert, high quality games will continue to sell well. Even during the Lehman Brothers collapse, games sold well. The Lehman Brothers, sorry, I think.
It's Lehman Brothers, but yeah.
Um,
That's still,
anyway,
we're talking decades ago. Wow.
I'm aware. I'm aware. But anyway, Capcom's stock price hit an all-time high at 5,270 yen in May and has broken the record numerous times since then, reaching as high as 6,520 yen in July. Well, not. So, in its financial results covering the year ending March 31st, 2023, Resident Evil publisher. I hate that they do that. Why is it always just noting one franchise?
I know.
They have a
They
huge portfolio of
do.
incredibly successful
Well
IP.
known IPs, but yeah.
Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, Phoenix Wright.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Monster Hunter, probably their most successful of all time in terms of sales numbers, but you don't mention that. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thanks, VGC. But it sold 41.7 million games during its 12-month period, breaking its record for the most games sold in a business year. Now, this is obviously the fact that we said that Capcom were on a major swing, but DLC practices still haven't changed. Although, I will give credit where credit is due, actually.
Uh-huh.
The Strange Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Mm-hmm.
4 to 6 hours of solid content for only £8.
Right. I actually heard
That's
it was
reasonable
a little bit
for
more.
them. No, it's $7.99.
Right. Very.
Yeah,
That I can't.
I checked.
You can't
I checked the
fault
how long
that.
to beat, and it was 6 hours, about 4 to 6 hours,
Okay.
which is a sizable. Considering the main game takes you
Yeah.
anywhere between 12 and 16 hours, that's pretty sizable.
I can't fault that, but I do fault a lot of other things that were said.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
um.
Yeah,
I
whilst they've been hesitant to obviously raise their prices,
they
but it looks
should
like they're
be.
very much considering this $70 or 70 quid price point now.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a mini rant, a mini tangent. We'll say. As Pete gets comfortable. But no, see, here's my thing. When people say, usually CEOs of companies, say something like, oh, well, during the recession, people still went to the movies, people still buy video games, people still do this, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the middle to upper class still does that. But the working class, they don't get to do that. And they don't ever seem to take, it's almost like the working class becomes invisible, and that actually pisses me off. That's just full stop. It just pisses me off because the working class are the ones who have to save up for a PlayStation, we'll say, or save up for a game, or save up to go to the movies. Whereas, let's say, upper middle class toffs or whatever, they're just like, oh, I want a game, so they just go and buy one. So anything that they're talking about, any system that they're talking about that they're putting in place, they're putting it into place for the upper to middle class, or middle class to upper middle class, and they're just forgetting the common man, the working class, because they don't care. Like, who cares? And something about that just really it angers me so much to be going, oh, well, people still went to the movies during a recession. No, they didn't. They couldn't. Because you had a choice between going to the movies or paying your exorbitant heating bill or your exorbitant electricity bill. that,
Mhm.
governments aren't helping out, especially if you're in America where the government doesn't help you at all.
Yeah,
And they're just like ignoring that. It's like, oh, well, they can't pay $70, 70 quid, 70 whatever. So we'll just forget they exist. But these people will pay it, you know? And there's something about that that just doesn't, it's just not right. And it angers me.
agreed. Agreed.
And I do
It's
think,
also go on, Karen.
I just think that they would sell more units if they priced it into a
Into their thinking.
well, in a priced it into a place where everyone could afford it, where it was accessible by everyone.
Yes.
That's just me.
And also, just to put it on, to add to your point, because I do
Yeah.
agree with you,
Yeah.
it's not our fault that development costs have risen. You
Yeah.
chose to rise development costs by including motion capture, full-on voice and motion capture, taking graphics to insane levels where they can't go any
And
higher than what they already are.
and they can't even do it on the machines that they have. The
No,
Xbox and the PlayStation 5 and even PC.
no, they're developing these games for high-end performance PCs, and they
You know
can't
what?
even hit. They're barely hitting those
Mm-hmm.
benchmarks.
Exactly.
So having to scale them back for consoles that are clearly not designed to do that is clearly not working. Like, the only thing is, obviously, it's working for Capcom because they're selling numbers, and yeah, admittedly, I'm probably, you know, I'm guilty of supporting that.
But you
But
that's
but
you're
I'm
very
guilty of
passionate about
support.
that.
I'm passionate about
Mm-hmm.
Capcom games. I love
You
Capcom
you are,
games,
yeah.
but I have told you that I think that their DLC practices
Mm-hmm.
are absolutely freaking god awful.
Yes.
And
Yes.
whilst everyone is singing their praises, I have been one of the very few people to turn around and say I don't think Capcom has actually changed at all. Because I don't think they have. Because you look at Street Fighter and it's still just as bad as ever.
Well, I was gonna say, and not. I mean, if the dude is saying, "Oh well, people will pay more for games," well, then they haven't changed.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, they haven't. It's still greedy Capcom being
yeah,
greedy Capcom. And that's always been the case. Look at, you know, everyone always makes a joke. It's something that annoys the living hell out of me, but it is absolutely true that um, most people haven't bought Street Fighter 6 because they're going to wait for Super Ultra Street Fighter 6 like Turbo Ultra Edition.
exactly.
And yeah,
You're
I use
not
stupid
wrong.
naming conventions, but that is pretty much true.
I
Um,
I also like what Mike says.
Pete is guilty of supporting Capcom because of 8K Ultra HD Cammy and Chun Li. That is not true. It's all about Hot Ryu or Ryu.
I was gonna say. Ah,
He
yeah.
says, "I kid, of course. Is he Honda? That is one strapping man." Edmund, good old Edmund. Did you know it is
I didn't
the E
know.
was for Edmund?
I did not know it was Edmund.
Yeah, Edmund Honda.
Why?
Don't know. I really don't know.
Well, the more
Yeah.
you know. This episode is also educational.
Yes. Anyway,
Oh, goodness.
right. Going from one set of corporate greed
Oh, goodness.
to another.
Uh-oh. Boom, boom,
Because this
boom.
is a mild update to another story that came out elsewhere, but I can't access that article because one, Jason Schreier, and two, Bloomberg's pages suck because of subscription.
Yes, they do.
Let's. Oh, look, this is important video game news, but we'll keep it behind a paywall. That makes you know better.
And no one's going to pay for video game news. They're just not.
They are not. Anyway, so let me just read this story. Please withhold any socialism you have until the end.
I make no
Epic
promises.
Games Epic Games has said Mediatonic's work on Fall Guys remains a company priority following reports the UK studio has been hit hard by layoffs.
Uh-huh.
Fortnite maker Epic confirmed on Thursday that it planned to lay off around 830 employees, or 16% of its total workforce.
Frickin'
Media.
heck.
I know that was the main story that came
And
out
it's
was.
like 3 months before Christmas.
Hang on, please hold all comments until the end. I did say please hold all socialism.
You did.
Mediatonic, which was acquired by Epic in 2021 and employed some 300 developers, quote, was hit very hard by layoffs, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, who broke the news of mass cuts at Epic ahead of the company's official announcement. No, he did good work this time.
Did he? I'll
No,
take your word for
I
it.
I always say I don't like him as a personality,
I
but when
know,
he
he's a
actually
good-
does do
he-
proper investigative journalism,
Yeah,
he
you're
does
right.
do good work.
You are correct.
He's just an arrogant SOB.
Yes, he is. And sensitive.
Yes, that too. And he's, you know what? Sod it. I'm gonna say it. He likes going down on the corporate paymaster. Let's say that.
That's a
He
thing
likes.
that Pete said.
Could say even worse.
I know you could. But no,
Let's
continue
goggle the
on.
corporate cum.
Oh, Pete, you got to honk that out. You cannot leave
I don't
that
give
on
a
there.
crap. No, absolutely not.
1 hour and 20 minutes in. You better mark that down.
53 minutes actually.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, you have to
I
honk
don't
that.
want to.
You have to.
I don't want to.
Nope, that's gotta be honked. Anyway.
He would be the sort of person to sue. Actually, let's not.
Yeah, exactly. Let's honk that out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll take.
Allegedly,
Why are you the sensible?
I don't know. I'm not usually the sensible one.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to speedrun getting cancelled now. All right. I'm doing quite well this episode.
Yes,
Anyway, some reports initially claimed that the entire Mediatonic team was being laid off, but Epic denied this in a statement to VGC. In case you hadn't realised, most sources are VGC again. This is false. Quote, a spokesman said. Mediatonic's work on Fall Guys continues to be a company priority. Are you understanding why I chose this article specifically?
Yes.
I like Fall Guys.
I know you do.
It's one of my. It's probably my most played game this year. Actually, I'm not even joking.
Well, I have crazy fond memories of, especially of us three, but
Yeah, I do, but I'm still playing it. I'm still playing it.
It breaks my heart, so I can't play it yet, but I will eventually. But anyway, continue on.
Anyway, the wider job cuts at Epic were announced in a memo to staff from CEO Tim Sweeney, who claimed that they would financially stabilize the business.
Oh dear.
Mike, such a distraction. Anyway, quote, for a while now, we've been spending way more money than we earn investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators, he said. I had long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that was unrealistic. While Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content, with significant revenue sharing, and this is a lower margin business than we had when Fortnite Battle Royale took off and began funding our expansion. Success with the creator ecosystem is a great achievement, but it means a major structural change to our economics. Epic folks around the world have been making ongoing efforts to reduce costs, including moving to net zero hiring and cutting operating spend on things like marketing and events, but we still ended up far short of financial sustainability. We concluded that layoffs are the only way, and that doing them now and on this scale would stabilize our finances, end quote.
Can I talk now? Can I be a socialist now?
Can I just say
Mm-hmm.
the comment from Nana here, because I mean, thanks, Mike. Your comments are interesting, but this one is more prevalent to the point. Nana says, "I expect Fall Guys to die within the year, if it happens to Fortnite, it's over."
I don't think that'll happen. But oh, do you? I will have to take y'all's word for it because I haven't touched Fall Guys since the last time me, Pete, and Kieran played.
So let me just say that
just like
Fortnite has been hemorrhaging money recently.
Has it really? Oh,
the player base is still there, but the recurrent spending probably hasn't been quite the same.
Okay, so like Okay, first of all, this is really cool. Give me 2 seconds. Our poor listeners who are listening and not not
Watching.
able to see this.
I'll describe it anyway.
Yes. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay.
That's a Fortnite Nerf gun.
I want that so bad. It's 45 quid at B&M. Uh I want it so bad. Um but when you see merch like this show up in B&M, Fortnite branded, it's not a good sign cuz B&M is where things go to die and I buy them because they're cheap and marked down. Um
B&M's all right though.
I love B&M. Don't get me wrong
Yeah, so
at
do I.
all. But it's what you call end of line clearance.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like Sports Direct as well.
It is. It's very similar formula.
Hmm.
But none of that matters because here's my real point where I can.
I wonder if we're going to make the same point here.
No, I don't think we will.
I
I don't
think we
know.
will.
We might.
I think we will.
I don't know. I don't think we will because I'm probably going in a totally different direction.
Oh, sorry. Let me just. Brent's brought up a really good point because actually this is related to it as well.
Okay.
This happened quite recently as well. Is Fortnite V-Buck prices are going up by 12 to 15%, and they say it's due to inflation.
Okay. Well, I still okay. So here's what I say. Here's what would solve all of their problems. All of them. Trickle down economics, all of them. If the CEO and the CFO and the CCO weren't taking, $5 billion, as hyperbole by the way, $5 billion bonuses every year, if they would cut their salaries, like what's his name that we love and adore, the guys who biography we read.
You mean how Satoru Iwata took
Yes.
a 50% pay cut when he realised that the Wii U was failing majorly and didn't want to sack anyone?
That if they would have honor,
His own salary.
I love him forever. That is a man that had honor. If
He's
they,
Japanese. They always have honor, usually.
yes, but yeah. So if they would have done that, they wouldn't have this problem. You know how I know this? Because Pete and I have read the emails.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did a whole thing about Apple.
Please go and listen to Redacted
Yeah.
for Privilege. That's another plug for it again.
Yep. I plug it all the time because we had unfettered access to emails that unredacted. Well, no, some of them were redacted. That's why we called it Redacted for Privilege. Before they took them down, we read all of the emails. I read all of them and then sent the more salient points to Pete. They get billions. They make billions in profit. And what's his face? Head of Epic gets
Tim Sweeney.
a ridiculous amount percentage.
That man has a $20 million bonus.
That's a bonus, people.
Not a base salary.
Exactly.
Not even a base salary.
There's no developers down at the bottom, Yertle the Turtle style. Please go read Yertle the Turtle by Dr. Seuss. It's the best book ever created. But there is no one down there getting 20 million. They could hire a ton of devs or just pay the devs they have way more just on his bonus alone. So when they talk about rising cost and raising the cost of living and rising prices, no, they're raising the CEO's funds, wages. I hate to call them wages because it's not like they work for them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and funnily enough, we agree. That's what I was going to say.
Were you really?
Yeah, 100%. Why is Tim Sweeney taking a $20 million bonus when he is laying people off? And also,
Yes.
probably, and let's be honest here, and this is where I absolutely hate corporate America, corporate business, and all that sort of thing, because I've seen it firsthand as well. This person, Tim Sweeney, the CFO, the COO,
Yeah.
and the shareholder themselves, to some degree, golden parachute, they will probably get another bonus out of cost cutting too.
Yeah. Absolutely
And
they
that's-
will. And even
that's shocking. It shouldn't be the case. Like,
even if this won't happen, but even if Epic were to completely go bankrupt, go on the auction block, sell its assets or whatever, Tim Sweeney would walk away with some kind of severance package that's probably worth billions. At least
100%.
a billion.
We may cover that in a bit as well.
Oh, okay.
This is why I said let's hold some things, because the point you were going to make, it relates solely to this story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Yes.
thought let's put a cork in it because of that reason. So yeah, it's just shocking, really.
It really
So
is.
my heart goes out to every single one of those employees who lost their job
Yes. 800?
unwillingly. 800 employees because Tim Sweeney couldn't take a price cut.
Oh, I am so angry, Pete. That makes me so angry. Right before Christmas, these people have families. I don't even care if they don't have families.
They have people that depend on them.
That's just like, and then yeah, we're joking about me being a socialist, and I am. So of course I'm completely
I know
upset about that.
Yeah.
But even if you weren't, let's say you weren't a socialist, let's say you're 100% pure capitalist.
You know me, I'm pretty much a staunch capitalist.
You are. That's 800 people going on government assistance.
That's not right, because then that has a huge effect on
Yes,
a taxpayer.
It does. It absolutely
myself
does.
included.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, we're looking at this, and specifically the reason why Mediatonic were brought up, because they are a UK-based company, and also because I like Fall Guys and I like the Mediatonic crew, because they actually do make a really freaking good game.
It is a good game. It is.
It's amazing. But I have noticed that there's been a problem, because the game has the game's been running and running well. But some of the stuff that they've been adding to it has been repeats for the last few months.
Oh, right.
Hardly anything new has been in there. So the Street Fighter stuff came back. The Ghostbusters stuff came back. The wrestling stuff came back.
Oh, gosh. That's all stuff
even though they were supposed to be nothing but limited time.
Right. See, that's all stuff. I haven't played in like a year. Like I said, the last time me, Pete, and Kieran played, which was like a year ago, almost exactly. And that's all stuff from back when I was playing. In some ways, that's kind of good, because I hate when I miss out on things. But you should pepper in like new stuff, not just cycling the old stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is I noticed that the bigger problem is when they brought the SpongeBob stuff back, and then it was the wrestling stuff, and I was like,
oh no,
this is cool to have back in case you missed it.
Yeah, but
that was the other one as well. The Sonic stuff came back too, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a bad sign.
Whilst I didn't think about it at the time, I did notice there was something a bit strange going on. I didn't quite put two and two together, and then this news comes out, and I'm like, why didn't I see it? I'm usually good at spotting this kind of thing, and I didn't notice this. But clearly there's been something going on in the background, and like probably for the last couple of months, and
But see,
compare
this to the last story. Here's what I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, it happens. But the last...
Even I'm wrong.
Never, Pete.
Yes.
But the last story is about, people will pay £70 for a new game.
And this story is people were losing their jobs because of the rising cost of living.
Because and that boils
which, by
down
the way,
to,
is being artificially done by governments around the world. Let's be honest about it.
I do agree with you there. See, sometimes Pete and I agree. He's not wrong.
I might be a capitalist. You might be a socialist, but we both agree governments suck.
That Venn diagram crosses, but governments suck. I do. But
lying politicians are the bane of my existence.
Yes, they exist on all sides of the spectrum. But my point being, so the last story is about people will pay £70 or dollars for a video game. This story is about 800 plus people losing their job because people won't pay £70 for a game. Holy crap! Get the freaking idea in your head.
And also, just remember that this game is, what? What was it? What happened when Epic decided to buy them out? What did they do?
I don't remember, because isn't it free to play?
There you go. They made this game free to play, so they got rid of some of the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Then they hinged more development costs on getting the Xbox version, the Switch version. They They had to create a whole new account system to mean that Steam could play with
'Cause it's
Epic and
all
Epic could
cross.
play
Yep,
with
it's
PlayStation
crossplay.
and all of that. So, and then obviously they're spending money on licenses to get costumes, sound effects, titles, all that into recurring monetary
And
stream.
licensing and all that stuff.
Yeah, and yet where's it gone?
Yeah.
They do the same thing with Fortnite, and apparently Fortnite is hemorrhaging money as well. But
Which is how?
but let's
Because the
not.
CEO is making tons of money.
But it's not just the CEO is taking money. I actually think there is also another bigger factor in play.
What's that?
There is a huge factor in play. Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, there's another player on the board that I totally forgot, and Pete is correct. Yes.
Because Unreal Engine 5 came out in a rough state and they've now had to update it to Unreal Engine 5.1 or 5.2. And it's not been going well. Because do you remember when Epic announced that the first game that Epic's catalog to use the Unreal Engine 5 was
I forgot.
their biggest franchise, Fortnite?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And yet, has
And
the
it did
Unreal
upgrade.
Engine 5 update even occurred? No, it has not.
Oh.
So there's problems. There's huge issues. There's obviously huge costs at developing an engine.
Yeah.
And yet, the recurring monetary stream that they're getting through people using Unreal Engine 4, do you happen to remember what the revenue split was
Okay.
in terms of what Epic were getting from there?
This is what I wanted to say for our lovely listeners and watchers. But no, Pete, go ahead. What was it?
It was about 15%.
Yeah.
15! Whereas any marketplace will generally charge 30%.
Yeah. Their emails back from the thing that Pete and I keep referencing say how their Unreal Engine should have been their big money maker.
But it's not.
And it's not.
It's a money pit.
And it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. So what I reckon is now going to happen is they're now going to change the revenue split. I guarantee it that they'll change it to the baseline 70-30, and then, because obviously so it was 15% if the games were being listed on the Epic Game Store on PC, and then if they sold over 1 million, the revenue split went even further down.
Right. Which
so it's not. So you have to subsidize the cost of creating an engine, an online store, and then also paying the 30% to the rights holders and store owners such as Sony, Microsoft, Steam, or Valve, Nintendo. Their revenue is going down in a major way, and yet even it seems like Tencent can't even save them.
I can make money out of nothing. I have made money out of nothing. If you know me personally, you would know. I have made money out of nothing. They should hire me. But you know what? It actually doesn't take a genius or a scientist or anything to figure it out. It's basic economics. Just take in more money than you're expending. That's literally all you have to do.
But that's the problem. Their expenditure is obviously so high. They went for a mass expansion.
And they won't cut their own salaries.
No, they won't. And that's where the problem lies. This is obviously where a huge issue remains within the industry. And let's be honest, whilst he appears to be the huge good guy that he is in the industry, we all know that Phil Spencer will be doing the exact same bloody thing.
But he deserves it. No, what I do
you
want
can't.
to...
I'm sorry, but you can't sit there and you feel Spencer when you know full well he'll be doing the exact same. Yeah, but that does. Yeah, but that doesn't help when Microsoft recently just cut jobs themselves too.
That's where I start getting a little like, But
and yes, in case you haven't realised, this has pissed me off.
Yeah, no, I definitely. But here, I want to address what Brandon said. I actually think most AAA games nowadays are worth $70. I even think it should have been increased earlier. So
now
okay, go ahead, Pete.
The N64. I am so old to remember this.
I was
that there was actually no freaking price structure when it came to those games. They could be anywhere between 60 and
Yep.
90 quid.
Okay, so Pete's already making part of my point for me.
Yeah,
No, you might as well.
that's what got me angry.
So
Because
Pete,
people were saying this whole increase of pricing is fair. It's not freaking fair. It's not. The hard-working people that pay for your games are getting absolutely booted
see that's
and
no.
shafted.
Okay, I was gonna make 2 points. The second point being, I don't mind paying 70 quid, $70 or whatever, if the I'm jokingly saying trickle down economics. Trickle down economics does not work. I'm just saying that as a joke. But if it did trickle down and the workers got to keep their freaking jobs, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That makes total sense. Now, my other point I wanted to make was, like, Pete and I are the same age. He's a little bit older. But
mere months, but
yes, I very much remember. First of all, I remember as a kid the Super Nintendo costing like $200, which was way out of our price range. We were poor kids in Cleveland, Texas. So
what, you think I grew up a rich kid?
Yeah, that was like,
my dad was a self-employed business owner for many years.
Yeah, like that was crazy. I got a hand-me-down, I think, from my nephew who thought he broke his and got a new one because they had way more money than we did. My nephew and I are the same age.
Yeah, do you want to know how I got my Super Nintendo?
Your brother?
Nope.
Oh, how?
Well, my brother had it. I had the Mega Drive, but the Super Nintendo came in because my dad bought it cheap from a business, from a rental business that was going out of business.
See? Yep.
And bought a stack of games with it as well.
Well, see? Okay, so...
And that Super Nintendo was an ex-rental unit.
That's the kind of stuff that I got my hands on. But I remember going to Walmart, which is a big store in the U.S. I think everyone's heard of Walmart, even over here. Asda is owned by, or used to be owned by Walmart. I don't know.
They still are owned by Walmart.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
So Walmart is every poor kid's dream. And I would walk in there and because they would have the demos out where you could play. Oh.
Yeah.
I would spend hours there. But the games, I kid you not, the games were between $50 and $70. I never saw one for cheaper than $50. And this is like mid-90s to early 2000s. Yeah. Up until before the 360 came out. So that whole gap before the 360 came out. I think it was
actually the Xbox, the GameCube, and the PS2 generation where the universal pricing structure actually started to come in proper.
Yes, I would agree with that. And but yeah, I'm reading chat. Sorry.
Yeah,
but
I'll get to that in a minute. But we have got to breeze on this point and then get to the last story.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I'm of two minds. I would happily pay £70 for, let's say, a really good game. Let's say Starfield, if it had been good, and then I got to see that cost passed on to the worker.
Yeah. Because
that's all I care about. I don't care about CEOs. Rich people do not fascinate me. They don't. I'm not like people see Elon. Yeah, people see Elon Musk and they're just immediately like, "Oh my gosh, that's the coolest person in the world." No, I don't like. That's not my. I'm talking about purely because he's rich. That's not my thing.
I know
rich people don't impress me. But hard workers do. And
yes, they do.
If they're compensated, I'll pay 70 quid. I don't have a problem with that. But anyway.
Yeah, so long as they are. But in most, let's be honest,
it's going to the CEOs.
No, that's what I mean. Despite being staunch capitalist, I know full well that the most of it goes to the top and doesn't really go out much further than that.
Yeah.
Even those companies that do have profit share schemes, the profit share schemes are awful anyway. I've been involved in that. I've seen the kind of profits that shops were posting, and yet the profit share that I got out of it was bloody awful. It was nice to get as a 16, 17-year-old kid in your first job, but you're like, cool. No, I'm not touching that one, Mike. Not touching that one. Talking about Ahsoka and Thrawn being like Elon Thrawn.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get to the final story because
It's true though.
I'm peed off enough
It
as
looks like
is. So let's have some mild good news, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
So this is coming from a blog, and I'm not telling you the blog because I'm just going to read the headline.
Okay.
Jim Ryan, president and CEO, announces retirement after 30 years with Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Woo!
Lion Ryan is finally going.
Party!
And yes, there was an article that came out from Bloomberg with Jason Schreier, who announced the news, and then wrote an article a day later and said, "Why are Sony fans celebrating Jim Ryan leaving? Maybe because he has the moniker of Lion Ryan."
Oh my
And this is
gosh.
where I do have to give credit
Mm-hmm.
to an ex-guest who may not appear anymore.
Oh, right, yes.
But
But
Lewis was one of the very few that came on the show
he did.
who did first say to us that Lion Ryan was a thing, and I don't know if I believed him at the time.
I
Hold
think
my
we
hands
were,
up and say,
yeah.
fair enough, fair enough.
I think
He
that's
may not talk. He may not talk to us anymore, but it doesn't matter. I acknowledge where he was
yes,
correct.
yes, that's right.
That
That's
is fine.
exactly right.
Anyway, let's read through this blog and hold celebrations until the end. So, as you may have seen today in the news, I have announced, so this is obviously from Jim Ryan himself on the PlayStation Interactive Entertainment blog. I have announced my retirement after nearly 30 years at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I did not take this decision lightly, and I absolutely love SIE and our community, but of late I've been finding it increasingly difficult to strike the right balance between having my home in the UK and my job in the United States. As mentioned in the press release, I will continue my role as president and CEO until March 2024, effective April 1st. What a joker.
Oh, he's awful. It's awful.
Sorry, I know that was terrible. I'm fully aware. It was April
Ugh.
Fool's Day, and he is the biggest fool out there.
He better not pull an April Fool's and be like, I was lying. I'm lying, Jim Ryan. I'm staying.
No. So, effective April 1st, 2024, Hiroki Totoki. Now, that's a great name. It rolls right off the tongue.
That was perfect.
Look, some name. It's the long names I can't do. It's long.
That's what
I
she
can't.
said.
I can't take a long one.
That's what she said.
I know. That's why
Ah.
I just will be appointed to interim CEO of SIE while he continues his current role at Sony Group Corporation. I feel humbled at having the opportunity to lead a company delivering products that touch millions of lives. From award-winning games to the incredibly immersive technical achievements delivered with PlayStation 5, I'm immensely proud of what we have achieved and very optimistic for the future of Sony Interactive Entertainment. From my beginning in Europe, it was clear that Sony had built something truly special. Generations later, I'm still amazed by the excitement and passion of the PlayStation community. It is thanks to you that I have been able to keep innovating and delivering even greater experiences. Since 1994, generations of gamers have inspired us to be better, to push the boundaries, and the results have been incredible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And
That's a good
now-
statement, I think, actually, to be
I
fair.
guess. I don't know.
It is a good statement, but based on the fact that obviously we have dealt with quite a lot of
People don't like old games.
We believe in generations.
See, that's what I'm saying. He kept saying generations over and over.
We believe in generations, yet we're going to support the PS4 nearly
People
3
don't
years
like
after
it.
the fact that the PS5 has come out.
Yeah, and people don't play.
There's a
it.
hard stop on PS4 development. No, there wasn't. There still isn't.
He's so full of it. He's so everything. I'm glad he's gone. I bet he got like $5 billion. How much did he get?
We don't know. It's not been stated, but
Oh.
you guarantee that you go and look at the actual public share prices, like on the stock market, the company records as per. Let's just say, because you know obviously about UK business, Companies House will probably have the UK branches, like expenditure and all that sort of stuff.
Well, let me say this to our wonderful listeners and watchers. Jim Ryan said, I kid you not. Now I'm paraphrasing here. You can go look up his exact words. But during the Microsoft Activision acquisition,
I'm so glad you mentioned this because I've got a.
he said I don't care. I just don't want you to have it. Talking about the acquisition itself. And that right there tells me everything I need to know about his character. I already knew because we were calling him Lion Jim Ryan way before that.
Yeah, like I
But
said, credit to Lewis for saying it.
yep,
Oh, in episode 48, I
frick,
believe it was.
frickin' heck.
I know.
Early days, but having said that, I mean, he outright told Phil Spencer, "I don't care. I just don't want you to have this." As in Activision,
Yep.
I don't. I just don't care for people like that. I just don't have time for mean people or selfish people. I just don't. They don't impress me. I'm not fond of them, and good riddance. So yes, what were you gonna say, Pete?
I'm glad you mentioned the acquisition.
Oh yes.
Because it seems a bit fitting that after the fact that the CMA basically provisionally confirmed that the deal was going to go through as per the agreements of Ubisoft taking cloud gaming. Seems a bit weird that Jim Ryan has now decided to step down, despite the fact he was very much profusely involved in the court case and got his ass handed to him by the courts.
He did. Pete, I forgot about that.
It's almost like his job was on the line in that one in the eyes of the consumer. And he's not taken humble pie, but he's taken the coward's way out of dealing with it.
I hate cowards. Ugh. But yes.
And this is also on top of the fact that this over the last week, Sony have recently been exposed to a ransomware hack again.
Yes, they have.
I
am just good riddance to bad rubbish, as they say.
Yeah, so whilst I don't usually celebrate someone potentially stepping down, and I'm going to do, oh my god. So Mike Tendo just put, oh, so you mean Jim Ryan pulled a David Cameron? So for those who are not involved in the UK political scene, David Cameron set the referendum up for the for quote Brexit. Thought confidently that they were going to remain, and they lost. And then held his hands up and went, "I can't do this job. Bye."
Walked right
and
out.
Then left it to Theresa May, who then went, "I'm going to give you a good deal," and then completely screwed that up, and then went, "I'm going away. Bye." And that's how we got Bojo.
Oh god.
Or Boris Johnson.
Oh dear! Don't let this happen to Sony. This can't happen to Sony.
No, because I have a bold prediction on this one. And I have two possibles of what could happen. Now, I have one that is a safe house, what could be seen as a safe house bet.
Okay.
That would be Herman Hulst to take over as SIE president, because he has recently just been promoted from head of studio at Guerrilla Games into the main fold at SIE.
Oh, okay.
Into a proper management role within the SIE brand, so he's overseeing more than just Guerrilla Games.
Okay.
And I reckon that he's probably going to take the reins. If not, it will be someone probably within the Japanese side of the parent company of Sony.
See, I'm going to be honest.
Go on.
That's what I've long suspected would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's very difficult for Western-minded people to understand, and I've mentioned this before in previous shows, Sony's a Japanese company.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese operate very differently.
They do, but you have to remember that very much so on the case of PlayStation, especially SIE, they are very much more Western focused now.
Jim Ryan was their first foray or a very early foray.
Sean Layden was before that.
I thought it was one more person, but it's all, that was all kind of, for having like a European branch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go well, so my theory...
No, Sean Layden was good for the company. It's just he oversaw a particularly rough patch with the PS3.
Yes, he did.
But he managed to get them out of it,
He
actually.
did.
He did quite well in that. They actually sold pretty good numbers. Like, they did better than the 360 in the end.
He did, and I'd rather he had stayed than what we got.
Yeah,
But it's long been my theory that it would go back to a
sure.
Japanese business person,
Okay.
CEO.
Do you want to hear my out there potential?
Yes.
So I'm not going to tell you the name. I'm going to
Okay.
see if you can try and work this one
no.
out. If I was to turn around and say, a man who will gladly and profusely roll sleeves up and reveal tattoos.
Oh, oh, oh gosh.
Peter Moore.
Yes, I love him.
Imagine if he took over at Sony
love
and his first
him.
act was to roll his arm up and he's got a massive PlayStation tattoo underneath the Halo one.
Oh my gosh. Pete, that would be so cool.
I want it to happen just for lols alone.
That would be cool.
I really do.
Oh, now see, I don't miss a lot about Twitter, but I do miss Peter Moore's Twitter. He was very cool.
Peter Moore's very funny.
He's very funny.
He's a bloody idiot, but he's so funny.
That's the thing. He's like pure. This is the thing. I love authentic people. And authentic people can be a little bit of an airhead, and Peter Moore is that. But they're also very intelligent. He's just 100%
he is quite
himself.
intelligent.
He's just himself.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know where he is now. I think he might still be at EA.
No. Oh, frick. I've actually forgotten now, but it's not a video game. He switched over to like pizza or something. He pulled a whatchamajiggle.
I just searched up Peter Moore. The first one that came up was a serial killer. I was like, oh, that's
no.
not the right one.
No.
That's not the right one.
No, but he's like at NASCAR.
Oh, Unity. He's at Unity Technologies.
Okay, see, I thought he was out.
Oh, he's at Unity.
No,
Oh dear.
That's disappointing right there.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Well, it happened.
And he's also involved in Wrexham Football Club as well.
That's it.
Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, I knew he was
Yeah,
involved.
he's
involved in some other stuff that isn't video.
Yeah, because he's also been involved previously, many moons ago, because he was CEO of Liverpool Football Club.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. In fact,
he's a cool character.
The poop-eating grin of him currently on Wikipedia showing him holding the Premier League trophy is quite cool, I guess. Goodness. But you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's at Unity now, oh boy, that could be a sinking ship soon enough.
Oh dear, they should get him then. They should hire him just for the crack.
The cards could be lining up. Look, I'm not going to say I was right. I put it out as a bold, out there prediction. If it does happen, I'll claim it to be the best call I've ever made.
I think they'll go with the Japanese.
You're probably correct on that one. You're more than likely.
We'll see.
Yes. But anyway, that's our stories, and we're now over an hour and a half, so we didn't keep it to a brisk hour and a half.
But it's not too bad. It's not awful. No. And we have a great chat, a full chat, who've just been talking. And I'm sorry we have not been able to get to your messages. We normally are pretty on top of it, but we were trying to...
Yeah, we'll cover most of them in the post-show anyway.
Yeah, so actually that's a good point, Pete. We should probably wrap this portion up.
Yes.
But of course...
also, can I just let it be known that I did have another story that I wanted to cover, but I thought talking about the SAG-AFTRA again was probably not the greatest idea.
Yeah, you know what, Pete? I think you're right. We're a little...
That's why I opted for the Capcom story instead.
Yeah, I think we're a little
bit... Yeah, because I probably could have got myself in some pretty hot water talking about the SAG-AFTRA stuff with video games, voice actors...
Oh, goodness.
Anyway.
Well, yes. We'll talk some more on the post show. Everyone come hang out at twitch.tv/rapidreviews because we do a pre and a post show. It's a shout out to Mags again, Middle Aged Gamer Guy UK over on twitch.tv as well. Because he mentioned last week, I think, or the week I was on, guys. My week's. But
he also mentioned it last week, this week as well when we were jumping in the chat too.
all my days blend together, but like our highlight is that we do a pre and a post show where we get a little bit naughty on our pre and post show. Although Pete is going to honk out a particular part on today's show because we can't do that or we will.
Yeah, I'm
both be
not sure I
canceled.
want to be taken to court for libel, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're probably right on that one. It's just...
I think so. Normally, I'm not into censorship. I'm really into just
Neither am I, you know.
expressing
But
yourself.
let's be honest, we all know it's true, though.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not mentioning it again, because you'll hear it later, but you won't actually hear properly unless you check out Twitch.
But yes, so I think that's gonna do it for us. Thank you so freaking much, for real, for our lovely chat tonight showing up. Yeah, okay, so we weren't going to talk about too much. I'm just going to briefly mention, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. But we didn't get a lot of listens last week and a little watches.
It was okay. Unfortunate, but it was a long old episode. I think the 2-hour mark probably put a few people off.
And to be fair, it's that time of year where people are like going back to school, or they've got kids that are going back to school. That's a thing.
Or university, colleges.
That was my first thought, was university, people going back to university, but also people who have kids that are going back to school and all that stuff. And yes, chat is being very funny, but I'm ignoring them for my closing statement.
We'll do it all in the podcast.
So, like, we understand, and I don't ever want anyone to feel obligated, out of some kind of like we don't require your loyalty, all that kind of stuff. No. You do it because you want to do it, and we want to encourage you that if you want to do it, please go listen to us and give us a rating, and you can leave us a review if you want. We've got some really lovely reviews lately, and I saw a rating on Spotify. I don't usually check because it's good for your mental health not to check. We've got quite a few 5-star ratings.
I have to go back and check them again.
Yeah, it's really good, actually. Thank you so much to everyone. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap up this episode, and we thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye, Ryan. Bye, Ryan. Oh, exactly 1 hour 39.
There you
Brilliant.
go. That's actually, see? That was good. It's just the Twitch stream that's going to be crazy.
I probably should mention that. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just change my settings so I can edit in the background whilst we're doing this.
And then Pete will go over chat, because you guys have been so wonderful.
Would you mind you going over chat?
Oh yeah, I'll go over chat.
Hard to do.
That's what she said. Let's see.
Where is it?
Let's see. Mike says, I was going to say it too. Satoru Iwata is a legend, and the Ask Iwata book is a huge insight into the man's brilliance. Yes, we read a couple of selections on here, and it was really good. I just really love him. I just love honor. I'm real big on honor.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. Prediction results is over. Is it going to tell me the prediction results? Nope.
No, probably not. I just noticed that flash up. I was like, what?
Yeah. Let's see. And then Brent says, how do I get a golden parachute? Seems like several people have them. Yeah, I'd like to know too. I'm a freaking CEO, and I can't get a golden parachute.
Yeah. Also, so 1 second. I'm gonna let the chat decide on what our episode should be titled. So Nana, can you stick something up and say?
Because we don't have any idea. We didn't hit anything.
No. Apart from Lion Ryan.
Yeah, but golden parachute's good too.
That could also work. Yeah.
Let's see.
What do you want this episode to be named? I meant for the people.
For the people.
For the people, because we're power to the people.
I was gonna say power to the people. That's what it should be called. Let's see. Mike says, I grew up in a caravan for 8 years. Is that true? That's crazy. That's kind of like...
Yeah, he's told me that before, and I got sad about it.
Yeah. Um, yeah. You should see the place I left, Texas, to come here.
Hmm.
It's oof. Yeah, Pete, you've seen
Yeah, that was
pictures.
the same. That was the same thing as you, wasn't it? You were like, you told me about it. It was like, oh, well, it makes me think I grew up in a little bit of privilege. And anyway,
You
to
did.
some degree, I always had a house and a roof over my head.
Yeah.
Things were tight, but it was
Well,
tough.
that's the
It was tough.
thing. You know, America is a very tough place to grow up in. Let me put it that
Oh,
way.
nice. I'm thinking I'm liking that. Nana, I'm taking that. Right, it's been decided.
I haven't gone down there yet. I'm still up here.
Well, you can find out eventually,
Oh,
unless we get
okay.
another one.
Stay tuned and when I find out the title of this episode. Let's see. Mike Tindo says, missed out on the GameCube, but I managed to persuade my parents to get my brother a Wii for his birthday.
Nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
absolutely. Brent,
I mean, it does also help that the Wii was relatively cheap by
it
comparison to the
was
rest of
by
the other
yeah.
consoles of the market at the
Oh,
time.
the Wii went just everybody bought that. Every freaking person bought one. Brent says I was prescribed to play video games at least an hour a day when the SNES was on store shelves. So that's what my parents bought
I
me. That's
I
what's
remember that discussion point from when we first had you on
yeah.
when we were talking about accessibility in games.
It's true. It'll be time to do that soon again.
Yeah, we need to follow up on that for sure because things have progressed, have they not?
Yep. We're not going to talk about this, but I have to agree with Mike. Elon Musk is just an anemic Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
He
that's why I
looks
just
like
said
him.
Elon Thrawn in the
Yeah.
episode.
He actually looks like him too, in a way, in
I
some
think,
weird way.
is it possible, and I mean really possible,
Mm-hmm.
that was done possibly on purpose?
I wonder myself. I partly yes,
I think it is
I think
because
it was.
let's be honest, after the discussion that we had about
Yeah.
movies and the writers and all that sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't surprise me if they thought they were being so clever,
Yep.
especially Dave frickin' Filoni. It's like, oh, look, I'm gonna make Thrawn just like Elon Musk.
It's true.
What a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could go unfiltered now. It's cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then everybody's like praising that Jim Ryan's gone.
Yep. I think everyone's feeling that, aren't they?
Yeah. Mike Tindo says that's a long commute. Must have had a private jet. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised by that too. So.
Let's see. Home in the UK, works in New York. That's an 8-hour flight. That's nothing.
8-hour flight. I mean, it could be worse if he was based down in San Francisco or somewhere like that, because that's 10, 11 hours.
No, thank you.
Possibly even with a stopover.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, screw that.
Brent says it baffles me they chose to have him in the position for 30 years. Me too. Xbox is much younger, but they've had at least 2 in that position. And I remember Nintendo's Reggie, but I bet someone came before him. They did, but they didn't make as big as a impact.
No, because the fact of the matter was is that the first instance when Reggie came into the doors at Nintendo of America and his first E3 press conference, he literally came out and went, "Hello, my name is Reggie Fils-Aimé. I like video games and I'm here to kick ass," or something along those lines. He really set the freaking tone for the whole thing, and then he ended up. I think it was around about the time when he pulled out the DS from his pocket. It was like, "I'm enjoying playing Super Mario Brothers on my DS."
See,
Or something like that. It's just he came out swinging, and he became
He
such
did.
a personality as a result of it.
I'll tell you what's weird is that I only knew him from that, obviously. But then I was listening to my brother and me podcast, which I listen to frequently, and I'm again listening to them now. Not their new stuff. I don't care for their new stuff. Old stuff. But there's an old episode where they're reading about this thing called the Bigfoot Pizza, which we had in America, which was, I believe, a Pizza Hut creation. So they're reading an article from like 1996 or something, or 97, and they quote one Reggie Fils-Aimé, or how do you say his name?
Oh, so Reggie Fils-Aimé, yeah. Sorry, let me just say. So this came from an interview that he did with Nintendo Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was anyway. So this was talking about his first E3 in 2004. So I was right in terms of the timescale because of
Yeah.
the DS reveal. So there's a little bit of a backstory. So this was my very first time in front of this type of an audience. Really, people don't know much about me, and other than my employment history, really. Fighter brands and brands that were going through reinvention, and I brought my personality into the presentation and essentially said, "My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass and taking names, and we're about making games."
I
So
love
there you
it.
go. It was
That's great.
fantastic. It was really set the tone for how it was with him,
Well,
and it was
apparently.
like one of the very few. Like before that, in terms of the video game
Mhm.
industry, how many people's names do you remember?
Yeah, like
Like,
he was one of the first for sure, hands
yeah,
down, 100%.
he became
Yeah.
a household name,
Mhm.
like in video gamers' minds because of it. And
Yeah.
then that's when we started having the thing with Satoru Iwata.
Yep.
We started having it with Masahiro Sakurai with the Smash Brothers series, doing the Smash Brothers Dojo when Brawl was coming out. They
Mhm.
became iconic because they were public-facing people in what was previously regarded as a very quiet Japanese company.
Mhm. It's true. But apparently he was CEO of Pizza Hut before that.
Yeah, he was.
So that's crazy and
I mean, he looks like he inhaled a Pizza Hut at that time,
that's
to be
true.
fair, but you know.
Um,
I mean, we've all been guilty of that at some
oh,
point in our
hell
lives.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the prices of Pizza Hut pizzas now? Jesus Christ.
Holy crap, I will never get over the prices of pizzas over here. They're so cheap to make, and
The
UK
markup's crazy
pizzas
on them.
are, yeah, oof. But anyway, what was I
Yeah,
saying?
carry on. Anyway.
Mike Tendo says, talking about my generation. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Now I gotta go hear that song. Oh yeah, Jim Ryan pulled a Dave Cameron, yes. F this SM out. Brent says
Yeah,
senior
we
VP.
mentioned that one already on the
Yeah.
show because it was relevant.
Senior VP and General Manager of Sports and Live Entertainment at Unity. Oh my gosh, is he really?
He is, yeah.
They need to. I would be happy if they hired him. But anyway, it's all about the post show, yes. Brent says specifically on the board for Nifty Games and Motorsports Games. Really? Interesting.
Mm.
Huh. Mike Tindo, paraphrasing Jonah
J. Jonah
Jameson.
Jameson.
Libel is written, slander is spoken. That's
Correct.
actually a good way to remember it. Yes, exactly. Mike Tindo, adults going back to school, parentheses, like me. Exactly. Like, it's very tough this time of
Yeah,
year.
good luck with the year ahead, mate.
Uh-huh.
I hope it goes well.
Yep. One day I'll go back. I only have one semester to finish. I'll do it. I'll finish it eventually. Brent says life finds a way to get in the way. Yes. Nana says also Pete will never say this, but he just did a new show on the Never Watchers. They looked at Jordan Peele's Nope. So if you're into film, check it out. Search the Never Watchers wherever you find podcasts. Oh, I
Thank you,
didn't
Nana. I
realize.
do really appreciate that. I should always plug it on the show, but I
You
don't
should.
think Kylie gives me enough time to do so.
It's all my fault.
I'm just gonna blame you.
I
It's
don't want
easier.
I don't want nobody watching that other show. Only this one. And then Mike says,
Don't
"What can you
blame you.
say, Kylie? But you're welcome. No, you guys are awesome. You guys are a great chat.
You are the
You
best.
come out
The
every
best
week
audience.
when you can. The fact that you're always here when you can be, or you always listen when you can, or you always watch when you can, that means so much to us. That's not even a joke. That you could, like I've said it before, you could spend your time anywhere. The fact that you choose to spend it with us, it actually literally means everything to us. Let's see. Princess, I bet 69 420 you would be overtime. Very good, Prince. Motorsports Games is dead. I hope not. Yeah, it was for the people. Sayonara, lying. Okay. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's what the episode title is going to be now.
That's really good. All right.
Damn it! I found the
Alright.
quote, and I said it so quietly, but yeah, damn it! You're making me cut it out.
What? Oh, cause what? What was
God
it?
damn it! God
Uh-huh.
damn it! No, the thing you've made me censor. You've made me censor myself.
You have to.
You suck.
Yep. You can
You
blame
suck.
it on me this
I
time
will.
round.
I
Yep.
always blame it on you.
Yep. Blame it on the rain. Yeah, yeah. Do we have a
Look, I
junk
think
food
you're
tax?
probably right. To be fair, like it is quite
Yeah.
bad.
Um.
like I said, you can find it on YouTube,
Yes, exactly.
uncensored.
I think there's a sugar tax here, isn't there?
There is.
Oh yeah, Mike, trailer park fan represent. Yeah. Yes. Um.
So who's Julian? And I reckon
Oh gosh.
that's probably you walking around with your whiskey glass.
Oh hell yeah. Love me some trailer park boys.
Uh,
No freaking
uh,
lie.
that unfortunately either makes Mike either Ricky or Bubbles.
I love Bubbles so much.
Bubbles is great.
Oh my goodness. See, here's what's so funny to me. So Trailer Park Boys is a Canadian show for those who don't
Oh,
know.
it's fantastic.
But it's so representative of actual trailer park life. Like it is obviously a comedy, so it's absurdity, but it's also not. But also the interiors, the set design is so on point.
From what I know about it and based
That's
on
what
some
trailers
caravans that I've stayed in the UK, like on the quote holiday,
Yeah.
let's say, that it's been exactly the same. Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. This is weird what I'm gonna say. So, I've brought myself up by my own bootstraps and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy what is referred to as a caravan here in the UK for our US watchers. I kind of want to buy one just so I can
Holiday resort.
Well, it'll be for a holiday for sure.
Rent out.
I'm definitely gonna rent it out, but also so I can just kind of go sit and feel like I used to. I know that's weird. That's a weird thing.
This is what Mike Tendo's just put. He's put.
Oh.
I even had a couch outside the trailer. It was in an awning though.
It's true. Oh, too funny.
Well, you really were a trailer park boy.
Oh man.
Sorry, Mike.
It's weird because there's good things. I don't know.
No,
it's weird.
I know there is a good sense of community in
is.
caravan parks. Like most of them are old, but over here.
Yeah, like it is definitely different over here. Like to be fair, it's more kind of a middle class thing to have a caravan to holiday in.
Oh, it is, yeah, because the caravan I stayed in is one of Rachel's dad's friends, and they are very, very much middle class.
Yeah. So that in and of itself is strange. But when you live in one 24/7,
it's a very different thing, isn't it?
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
goodness.
He did say I did have speedboats, jet skis, quad bikes, and scuba gear.
Did you grow up in Texas?
So swings and roundabouts. I was going to say, based on where you were in the part of that world, I'm pretty sure most of them were nicked.
Oh my goodness. So there's a video that
Sorry.
Oh gosh, Pete.
I know that part of the world far too well. Oh, southern Spain, sorry. I thought you meant Essex.
Anyway, there's a viral video going around. Well, if it hit Facebook, which is the only social media I possess, that Instagram, it must have
Facebook
been.
then.
Yeah, it must have been on Twitter 6 months
10
ago.
years ago, probably.
Yeah, whatever. But so it's going viral to me. It's filmed right outside of where I grew up, in this swimming hole that we all used to go to.
Down the creek.
You're not kidding. And it's this family, and they're hurrying up and getting out of the water because there's an alligator swimming by them. And yes, that happened to us quite frequently. You have to be very aware when you're swimming in a river. There's a lot of things in the river. But
hey, Ma, I found some gator for dinner.
I have eaten alligator. Yes, I have.
I know you have. That's why I said that.
You have to watch everything, even a leaf on the top of the water, because their little nose will come up, and the leaf will come up with it and stuff, and then you have to leave. You have to go because they'll eat you.
Oh, they will. Yeah.
They will absolutely eat you. They will eat a child. They won't even think twice.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Wow.
what? Oh no,
Have
what?
you ever seen a film called The Business with Danny Dyer? And yes,
Oh, I
I
haven't.
have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ray Winston and Danny Dyer. It's an
Ah.
early 2000s movie, and it's
Wow, that it would be
I'm not gonna
early.
lie, it's a bit shit.
Huh.
Um, it's Danny Dyer. Most of his
Yeah.
films are shit, apart from Severance.
Yeah.
Like that one came up recently in another live stream. I don't know why, but if you haven't seen the film Severance, you probably should. It is so stupid, but it's weird, right? So it's on the back
Wait,
of like these.
the new
No,
show
no, this is an
Severance.
old like this is
Oh,
like a
okay.
2000s like mid
Okay, I was like,
2000s movie.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
it was came off the back of obviously the massive success of Shaun of the Dead with horror
Mhm.
comedy.
Mhm.
So it's about a corporate retreat that goes wrong.
Wait,
So they go out on a
okay.
corporate retreat training event like for team building, and in the middle of I think it's Romania, and they get stalked by a bunch of mass murderers, and
Oh
it's got
my
Danny Dyer in it.
gosh.
It's bloody stupid, but it is really quite
Oh
funny
my
as well.
goodness. Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
if I find a link to the film, like on a streaming platform, I'll send it over to you because it's got some very black humor to it, and I think you'd like it.
I love dark humor.
So there,
Gallows humor is my thing.
yeah. So typical of Danny Dyer, he plays a corporate type that is a huge stoner, and it's
Of course.
fucking
Of
stupid.
course.
Like there's a bit where he trips his ass on magic mushrooms, and it's
Oh dear. Well,
yeah,
apparently Mike worked in the house where that film was shot, so
yeah.
that's
That's
interesting.
that's kind of awesome. Yeah,
I'll
that was
have
a
to
bit of a
check it out.
tangent about Danny Dyer films. Sorry about that. But yeah,
Well,
I have watched The Business.
that's so funny.
He did say, yeah, it's very shit.
I'm trying to wonder if I mean I've definitely seen something with that premise, but I don't know.
What, Severance?
Yeah.
I'll bring it up on IMDb and I'll send you the link to it to have a look
Yeah.
afterwards so that you can. Oh my god. Also, speaking of which, because this has now reminded me, speaking of movies, there was a trailer that came out for a film that's out in February next year in cinemas called Argyle.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
god, it looks amazing.
I can't tell if I love it or not because okay, it's Henry Cavill first of all.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a dumb thing what I'm about to say, but the trailers I saw, which may be different because who knows.
You might have seen the teaser trailer that came out. They've
Yeah.
released a full trailer for it now.
Well, all I know is a girl in a gold dress spins on, and it's the
Yeah.
most beautiful dress I've ever seen, and I want it so
Yeah,
bad.
that was the teaser trailer. There's a full
Oh,
trailer out
okay.
now.
Okay, well, then Henry Cavill shows up. Now, here's what's funny to me. Here's what stood out to me. This is going to be boring and stupid to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Argyle. There is a character in Fallout New Vegas called Argyle. And he is...
There's also a character in Die Hard called Argyle.
That's true. No, that is true.
You're right, Argyle.
Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh.
I've watched that film far too many times.
Yes, yeah. But I have too.
I think everyone has.
Yes. Actually, there's also this Christmas countdown, like Advent calendar.
Oh god.
That I want to get. That's from Die Hard, and it's what's his face? The bad guy.
Hans Gruber falling down the Nakatomi.
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen that before. It is amazing. It's probably the only Advent calendar I probably would ever want.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that for myself. But anyway,
please tell me the chocolates in it are at least machine guns shaped.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
That would be awesome.
Now
if
I
it even
have
has
a machine
chocolate.
gun. Ha ha ha.
Ho ho ho! Actually, not ha ha ha. Get out of it. You suck. I've seen the film loads of times. I can't even get
well, he
right.
pronounces it weird, but yes, it is ho ho ho. But because it's written there. See.
And speaking of which,
it sounds like ha ha ha, even though it says ho ho ho.
I know. And speaking of which, because obviously we're talking about the legend that is Alan Rickman,
yes,
R.I.P.
Yes.
R.I.P. Michael Gambon.
Yes, saw that too. But
damn, that sucked. That sucked so hard.
You know what my favorite okay, so I have two favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
With what's his face in it?
What, Rickman?
Yes. And it's not anything you're going to think of at all. Number one being Galaxy
I
Quest.
know one of them. I think I do anyway.
I'm sure you do.
Can
But
I
number one,
can I take a punt on one of them?
yes, but let's just also, first of all, acknowledge the beauty that is Galaxy Quest. I love that movie. It is my
That was my
top
guess.
three.
God damn it!
Oh,
Galaxy
really?
Quest is
Okay.
awesome.
Galaxy
Galaxy Quest is
Quest.
amazing.
It's amazing. It is my top three movies. Holy crap, I love it so much. I quote it all the time, and I've even quoted it on the show.
I know you have as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen it that I just can't remember half the quotes from it though.
Yes. I
Even
have
though it
one
was an
job.
absolute staple of my watching nearly every
Yes.
year.
But I like it when Sigourney Weaver's like, I have one job on this ship. One job. That, but I can't believe you haven't guessed the second one. I mean, come on. I am an
Dogma?
American. No.
Well, that's what Mike Tendo said. Dogma.
Oh, Dogma's great too. But
Dogma is good too.
I'm an American. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. What are you talking about? The best Robin Hood.
Look, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is a great movie that I have not seen for many years.
Oh, I love it so much. I've watched it now that I live over here. So I never understood why the UK made fun of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, because it's a good movie to me. Now I live here and I get it. Okay, yes, you're absolutely allowed to make fun of it. Yes, that is the one with Kevin Costner with his lovely British accent that then became Men in Tights, where they made fun of him.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, I used to have an obsession with Christian Slater. I now have an obsession with Cillian Murphy. But at the time, I had an obsession with Christian Slater, who was Will Scarlet. But I absolutely loved Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham. He was amazing. That's another movie I quote all the time.
Yeah, the quotes would probably fly over my head a little bit more on that one because it's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, he's just like, cut their heart out with a spoon. And he's like, why a spoon, cousin? Because it'll hurt more, you twit. I love it. I love it so much. I just love Alan Rickman.
Classic.
He's amazing, and he was amazing as a sheriff.
Yeah, so when I went to Harry Potter World a couple of years ago,
yes.
They have like boxes there of obviously wands from the films.
Yes.
And it's literally the boxes that the wands were kept in, and there's several of them like dotted around. So you've got Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, like everyone that appeared. So I specifically sought out the Alan Rickman one, just to show my respects, because that man is a legend. He's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh yeah, definitely. We say stuff like "gone too soon," and
definitely
kind of
for him it was
generic,
the case. Same with Gambon as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Gambon still looked like he had a hell of a lot of life in him, unfortunately, which is the weird thing, despite being like 80 something. It was
but even the guy that did, I'm sorry, Pete, I can't remember the names of any of the Harry Potter characters. The one that told Harry he was a wizard.
Hagrid. So that would be Robbie Coltrane.
Yes, Robbie Coltrane, who was
and he passed not too long ago as well, which was, oh man.
That really shows that, I hate to say this, but that really shows that we are getting older, and that are like people from movies of our childhood are like, well, young adulthood are like passing away, and they're getting older.
And what are we left with now?
Oh.
Shit actors.
And then
look, that might be a bit bad of me to say that. I can't say that because I did watch Nana had posted up for the Never Watchers, and I think one of our biggest rising stars in terms of British actors. And I know he's been on the scene for quite a long time, but he's becoming a lot more prevalent now. Daniel Kaluuya. Unbelievable. He's very good in most things that I've seen him in.
I agree with
you
there,
I don't want to give away my opinions on Nope, but he's fantastic in that film.
Yeah, no, I need to see it, but I actually take your word for it. I think what Mike says is funny because he says, blew my girlfriend's mind the other day when I pronounced Hermione's name, because in Spain they pronounce it her, me, on. Now, what is funny, whereas we say Somebody say kicked in the shins. What's funny about that is growing up as a kid in Texas, I actually loved David Bowie, like ridiculously loved David Bowie. And so I read a biography about him when I was like 16. Remember, I didn't read Harry Potter. I have to confess that. So instead I read David Bowie biography. Well, his girlfriend in one of those years was Hermione, but I didn't know that's how you said it, so I was like Harry Moan.
Yeah, I honestly can't say that I knew what the pronunciation was when I was reading the books as a kid.
Okay.
But then obviously when the movies came along, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so that's how you say it.
Well, it was the same thing for me, except it was a David Bowie biography, and yet it took the Harry Potter series for me to know how to pronounce David Bowie's girlfriend's name. So, oh, Mike says Hermione.
Oh, I hurt my knee.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, okay. I don't know if this is relevant to any of you folks out there, any UK folks out there. I have a friend who lives in the north of England by Hadrian's Wall. Did I say that right? Hadrian's Wall?
I guess so, yeah.
Apparently there's a very famous landmark in Hadrian's Wall, which is called the Gap. It's like a elm tree that grew in the Gap, and I've seen the photos. Like, they're super famous. Apparently, like, no, he wasn't the one. No, he wasn't the one that cut down the tree. Yeah, somebody cut it down. Like a 16-year-old cut it down or something. Oh my gosh! Like, first of all, that was upsetting and stupid, and I can't believe anybody did that. But the people are so hurt. He is so, like, actually gutted about this that he's trying to get people on board to do something with the tree itself, like turn it into keychains or something, something so that they all have a piece of it. I'm just like, I'm actually sad for them because this whole, like, little area, I don't know where he lives, but it's close to that. They're just absolutely gutted over this, and I can't believe, like, a 6-year-old kid just went and cut down a tree. Like,
Damn.
I can't remember. It's something, the Gap, something Gap. I'm not familiar enough because, I lived on the other, my ancestors come from the other side of the wall where the Romans didn't get to us. But yeah, Pete's looking it up.
I'm not, actually.
Oh, what are you doing? You went quiet.
I'm doing other stuff.
Oh, well, fine.
Funnily enough, I'm trying to find the right people to tag in the post on Twitter when we post the episode, including Jim Ryan himself.
Oh yeah, you should do that.
I have, because I'm also tagging Hideki Kamiya too.
Oh, nice.
Because why not? Might as well try and gain some traction out of it.
But see, here's the thing that I don't understand. I don't understand people who deface, like, old stuff. Like, I get, like, they're like, it's just old stuff. It doesn't mean anything. But it does to people like me. It really
does.
Like,
to people like me, it does.
Yeah, like the Coliseum. I actually teared up when I was at the Coliseum. Oh, yeah. Here's another thing. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I have. Apparently there was this really cool thing going around where, like, yes, he may fail, but that's not the point. He should learn a lesson by gluing the tree together.
That's alright, just pull the tree down.
But apparently, yes. Well, the tree's down. But apparently there was this thing going around where a bunch of girls asked their boyfriends, how often do they think of the Roman Empire?
Oh, not this. Fuck off. This has made it into every single freaking podcast I've listened to over the last goddamn
really?
2 weeks.
Well,
every single one.
What
did you think about the Roman Empire? Well, funnily enough, I was talking about aqueducts yesterday.
Well, see, okay, so I have to say my piece. The reason why this pisses me off, besides just overexposure,
Yep.
is nobody ever asked me. I think about the Roman Empire like every day. I wrote a book about it. And
Oh,
I teared up at the Colosseum, and I have a necklace where I put the dust from the Colosseum floor into the necklace, and I wear it sometimes for good luck.
did you? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
That's
Did I
kind of
not show
awesome,
you?
but no.
Yeah, I know. I'm a huge nerd. I am a huge nerd dork. I am, and I just am. But it's like nobody ever asked me. I think about it all the time, like constantly, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. But I'm a chick. Somebody should ask me. I should get a boyfriend.
Probably, yeah, because then he can talk to you about it, remember?
Oh, that would be the best. Oh my gosh.
God,
Yes.
you two would be talking about that for hours.
Just send me a nerd boyfriend, please, universe. But,
Right,
but
shall we
yeah,
wrap this up?
I think we should wrap this up. I did
Yeah,
really well. First of all, let's talk about how well I did because I'm probably going to clip this later so that my trainers can see. Huh?
What?
What?
That's a full bottle of wine, unopened.
No, it is
Oh, no,
open.
okay.
It is open. But look at this,
But it's
Pete.
not finished. It's
Look at
not
that.
finished.
Look at
Not
that.
finished.
I
There's
had
like
3
two glasses
glasses.
left in.
Yes, I had 3 glasses of wine. Thank you very much. Only
But you
3
did
glasses.
have whiskey.
Shush. We're not supposed to. I'm clipping this. You're not supposed to say that.
But you can clip it after that. Or before that, sorry.
I only had one whiskey, and it was on the rocks with water. And then I had only 3 glasses of wine. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. One day, I won't have
I
any.
tell you, you know what? You're losing your edge.
No, don't tell me that, Pete.
And your buzz.
Don't say
Well,
that. Don't say that.
That's all for a bad joke. Sorry.
Yes. But we are gonna wrap it up.
My buzz.
You've changed, man. We do hope you enjoyed yourself as
What
much.
happened to you, man? You used to
you
be
ch-
cool. Hey, China's still cool.
I'm cool. I'm still cool.
You're a bit later. Look, we couldn't get through without a Simpsons quote.
I was gonna say.
Or a
yep.
Futurama one.
Okay.
We had the Futurama one earlier.
Okay, one slight tangent, and then we'll wrap it up. So, call me Kevin. Bingo cards.
Hey, punch it.
Yep. His last episode, he quoted 3 SpongeBob quotes and I think 1 Simpson quote, which he then self-acknowledged at the end. And I was just like, this is why I love Call Me Kevin, because I get it. All I do is quote SpongeBob and Simpsons and Futurama like all the time. That's literally it. I don't quote anything else. Well, sometimes I quote other things. But yeah, it's just like 24/7. It's like, what?
All I do is quote pop culture and
Yeah.
movies
Maybe it's that.
and TV. And
Yeah.
also, just a quick one, because obviously I need to show this, because this is awesome. So, back a while ago, Mike would have obviously seen or heard at WSD earlier in the year that I had real trouble trying to get one.
Uh-oh.
I got on
Oh, looky there.
one of the limited edition Mario Cross Splatoon's Splatfest shirts.
That is so cute.
It finally came.
That's what she said. Ah!
I knew Mike would like that. I know you could see the top here, so I was just like, that's the full shirt. It's so awesome. I love it. It's like one of my favourite shirts now.
It goes great with your haircut.
It does, actually. I was going to wear it for work, but I can't, because I wore it tonight.
Yeah. But anyway...
I also got the mushroom one as well, but that's in white, and I've got a problem with that one. I need to tell you that later.
I don't like white.
No, I like white shirts, right, because that suits me for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, it's got a stain.
Oh, yes.
And it's not a naughty stain, it's just a food stain.
Oh, which could be naughty too. But
No,
anyway.
it's just a food stain, unfortunately. I need to put it through the wash again.
That's gonna do it for us. I hope you enjoyed it. We always enjoy having you here. You guys are amazing. You're great.
You guys rock.
And we do thank Mags for dropping by, and you guys were amazing to Mags, as always. And
We need a name for our community like he does.
yes, I don't. We'll have to. whatever RR means. Um.
Yeah, take. I agree, Mike, and take it from a fat bastard.
Oh gosh. Anyway, we're wrapping this up right now. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
See you later.